Hello and happy Tuesday evening, and welcome to another episode of Party Chat. We are already on episode 28. I was shocked when I was scheduling the stream. I was like, has it really been 28 episodes? But yes, it has, and we got a great panel tonight. So let's go ahead and welcome in my newest co-host, my good buddy Carl. How you doing tonight, Carl? Hello?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I had a little issue there for a second. I bumped my mic and muted it for a second. I said I'm doing pretty good. It looks like we're also streaming Metroid Zero Mission on Twitch for a party chat tonight. So
yes,
looking forward to that group party chat.
Doing some Metroid Zero Mission last night, and it probably just grabbed it. So I'm gonna fix that here in a moment. But you doing good today?
I'm doing peachy keen. I guess like peachy keen. Got my ginger and turmeric tea, and we're doing good.
Excellent. Well, glad you could be here tonight for another episode of Party Chats.
Wouldn't miss it.
And right as I hit go live on the countdown, my other co-host here, Ryan, hopped in. What's up, Ryan? How you doing tonight?
Good. Sorry, I didn't realize my stuff was off. Yeah, no, I hopped in right as I heard the ding, ding, ding. I'm like, wow, that's good timing.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah, busy day. Work's gonna be work sometimes, and no, good to be here. And yeah, I'm glad that we were able to continue this show. I very much enjoyed, even though it's at a new time and a new date. So, but still, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, I'm glad that this worked out for you because I love having you on the panel. So, and then we've got our awesome guest host for tonight, my good buddy, Fractured Filter. Hello, Filter. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty darn well. How about the rest of you gents?
Doing good. We'll have to change that and make everything terrible then.
Ah! Oh no! Give me a few minutes. I can tear things down pretty quick.
It's like, hold on.
Yeah, give me a moment.
So yeah, Fractured Ryan, you probably, I don't know if you've been if you're familiar with Fractured Filter, but he has a bit of a reputation for how do I say? Help me out here, Carl. What's the word?
Let me have it, Carl. Let's
number one hater online.
Yes.
I'll take it. Then him and I shall get along swimmingly because my videos are in the algorithm right now for YouTube for I don't know, Agatha All Along, the Acolyte, Rings of Power, and I'm getting a lot of comments. We'll just say that are lovely. So
have you pissed off the furry community yet?
I don't think so.
If you wanted a group of spastics to really start bombarding your channel, take a swing at them.
I believe you. I covered the Ghost of Yozai, and look, it wasn't covering the game. It was what was the people behind the development, the drama around it, right? Because when you attack people, I made a video. And the first couple of comments, one was like, "What is Legion?" He didn't say this nicely. What is he babbling on about? Like, basically just telling me that if you don't like the game, don't play it. And it's like, well, at this point, the way they're going, I don't think anybody's going to play it. So it's like
that is a very interesting situation. I've been following that. I'm waiting for the next Saturday night Seth to go over it because I like having Hitman around. He's kind of a normie to our sphere. So it's kind of fun just to bounce things off of him and get his opinion on the way he perceives it and all that. So I'm kind of looking forward to picking his brain a little bit. But yeah, it was like because I'd been following the whole Helldivers.
I was like, Hellgate, that's an old game.
The whole Helldivers, like some of the drama with the community managers and stuff like that. And then we talked about it. I clipped it out when we were discussing them, the furries getting mad at people for using barfing emojis. And my word, I don't think I've had a clipped out segment downvoted that much yet. But hey, it brought in the views, so I ain't arguing. I'm just laughing my ass off though.
I still think the funniest thing I ever saw at a furry convention was like I think
you
it
went
said
to
like
a furry convention.
no,
Yeah,
I saw it online. So okay, so I have two stories with that. So I saw a funny thing on Twitter where it was like 2018 furry convention HIV testing area. And that made me die laughing. And then
sounds about right for them.
And then the second story I have was I didn't go to a furry convention, but there was a furry convention at the same time I went to another convention. So my stepbrother, he collects sports autographs. And we went to a sporting autograph show to meet some players, get them to sign hockey pucks, footballs, jerseys, you name it. That's what we were doing. And at the same time, there was a furry convention going on at the same time. And I had to explain to my stepbrother is like what a furry was because he had no idea what a furry was until we like drove past a McDonald's and it looked like all the sporting mascots were trying to order McDoubles. It was the weirdest thing in the world.
It's like you sweet summer child. You almost don't want to corrupt them if they don't know, but at the same time you're like you have to suffer like I have suffered.
Yeah, you don't understand.
So yeah, Filter, you need to give Jay Hitman a hard time because I messaged him at the end of August. He replied like another day later, and I responded within like an hour because he's like, "Oh yeah, I'd be happy to," and I haven't heard back from him in over a month.
No, like he's like even though he's a little bit younger than me, he's like a legit boomer when it comes to technology. Like he just refuses. I'm like, dude. Even I know some of this shit, and I can be a bit of a boomer with my with technology.
So,
but yeah, I know I'll have to harass him a little.
I want to get him on her open mic at some point. He's like, "Yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely." All right. Well, to start off with our usual go around the horn here and talk about what you've been playing lately, or Filter, have you been playing anything lately?
How dare you, sir? I do play video games. They may not be the current slop, but I still play video games.
I've been playing the stuff that I've been playing is from GameCube and Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've been playing Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, the N64 version, earning the achievements.
Yeah. To the retro achievement cause.
Exactly. But I am going to be gearing up since it's Halloween month. I'm going to be firing up a old classic, the game you can't mention without somebody going, you know what? I need to play that. Vampires: The Masquerade Bloodlines. Love the game, so I'll be definitely playing and streaming some of that.
Is the sequel to that Bloodlines game that's been in development?
Bloodlines 2, yeah,
and has like one of the longest titles ever.
It's I'm gonna suspect another game dead on arrival, because this is the thing. Like even the original game, The Masquerade Bloodlines, was like a lightning in the bottle sort of situation that you can't replicate. The sad thing is, dude, is like it was built in the Source engine, but the game is horrendously broken and has required unofficial patches from modders and stuff to basically like fix the game a little more. But it is just it has a great atmosphere, has an amazing soundtrack that goes along with it. And they were going off of the tabletop RPG of Vampires: The Masquerade, which all is really awesome, which is really all awesome stuff with the backgrounds, until of course, like so many tabletop RPGs nowadays, is getting the mind virus. And but I just enjoy. I thought the world was pretty cool. I liked the different style of the vampires that they have in the games. Somehow my brother and I chose the complete outcasts of vampires. I go for the Tremere, which are these blood magic using vampires, but they're very like they have their own like social order and everything like that, which I think is very cool. And then my brother he gravitated towards the Nosferatu, which are very like they're physically disfigured. They look like that from the original movie, the Nosferatu, but more boils and ugly. They have to they're hard mode for the game too, because you'll freak out any regular civilian that you run across. So stealth is like a key thing, but it really sucks because bosses you can't stealth against generally.
Oh, that's
they're they're also like the information gatherers, the hackers, and stuff like that. So it's just very funny that he and I just kind of picked these sort of style of vampires and stuff. But it's a really it was a buddy of mine who was the longtime PC gamer, and he got me introduced into so many different games, and that was another one that I just still love firing up every now and then to this day. So and Halloween is the perfect time for it. So, and I got a string of other games I want to get to too for this month because it's a fun time. It's a fun time.
All right. Yeah, with the mention of the bosses you can't stealth against, it reminds me of Deus Ex Human Revolution, where they outsourced the boss fights to another studio. And that was one of the biggest complaints about the game is because you can build, if there's an option for a stealth character, that's what I'm going to do. And you basically can't beat the bosses because you have to fight them in combat. But if you're not spec for it, it's not going to happen. So
right.
It reminds me of that. So, Ryan, what about you? Have you been playing anything lately?
I have not, unfortunately. It's been a very busy couple of weeks. Bums me out, but
well, that's enough of that then.
Even I've been playing video games. Yes.
Wow. I know you got real life stuff.
Wow, all the hate all of a sudden. No, I'm kidding. I get that.
It's how I work.
Just for the record, I was going to point up, and now I'm pointing down. Dino Crisis, incredible game. It would be great with a remaster, in my opinion. Not a remake. No remakes. But no, it's my favorite time of year, and I want to try to, before Halloween is over, I want to play a Silent Hill game for Halloween because you will watch me. You will watch me. It'll freak me out because, quite frankly, I love Halloween for a weird reason because I don't like to be scared, but I like Halloween for the festivities. So it doesn't really go hand in.
Ever played a Silent Hill before?
Yes. No. Okay. Silent Hill is by far one of my favorite franchises. I've played all the way through, I believe. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I think 7 was the last one I played on the PS6 or 7 on the PS3.
Oh, I was like the PS6 or PS7. What are you?
No. So like Silent Hill 4: The Room. I like that game. A lot of people they're iffy on it. And then of course that was the last, I believe, PlayStation 2 Silent Hill. Then we went to Silent Hill on the PlayStation 3. That's the last time I played. But my absolute favorite is Silent Hill 2. I'm not talking about the remake, the original.
What?
What are you talking about?
Evil 4 clone that's going to be that game.
When you said it's your favorite time of year, remind me, I saw a meme just today. It had like all of the slasher villains like Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers, and it had like a collage of them, and it said like the most wonderful time of the year. Like, playing on Christmas, but it was for Halloween.
Spooky season.
Weirdly, I'm not a massive fan of like scary movies, but like I love Halloween and I don't get it. But I like scary video games. So I'm like really weird. I don't know. I don't understand it. Don't ask me. But I would love to play a Silent Hill game. Whichever one I can. I believe Silent Hill 4: The Room is on Steam. That's the youngest one. I'd love to play that, before the end of the month. So I'm going to give that a shot. The new computer's still having problems with older games. So
yeah,
damn RTX, man. The new graphics card is just not cooperating.
That sucks.
Yeah, I tried
older games can be difficult.
Yeah, I tried to play Dragon Age Origins like well before everybody got back into Dragon Age Origins because of the new game, and I couldn't get it to work then. I can't get it to work now. So
I couldn't even get Okami to work on my PC, and I was like, you know what? This is also why I have my consoles and collect physical.
Yeah, my consoles are in storage, and I wish they need to not be anymore. It's like,
yeah, it's about trying to find the right space where you need to put them and stuff like that too. That's what I've been trying to. I had to eventually figure out myself because I'd like to have my regular consoles out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the things I love about the Xbox is that I can still have my Xbox hooked up to the TV in the family room, and I can still stream it to my PC, so I can use that for streaming games, to YouTube and whatnot. So my PC, unless I'm playing a PC game, it's my Xbox that's actually doing all the game processing. So, but all right. And Carl, have you been playing anything lately?
Well, I just finished up a game on Saturday called Slay the Princess.
Oh, you've been talking about that one a lot.
I got highly recommend that one. Best way I can sales pitch this to you is it's a visual novel, but a roguelike at the same time. It's very interesting, very well written. Yeah, there's
you mentioned that to me last night. I don't know if it was on chat or in DMs, but you're like, yeah, it's a roguelike visual novel. I'm like, that's a weird combination of genres.
I was gonna say, how does that work exactly? I mean, I guess I'll have to watch your stream. I should watch your stream, Matt.
I would say, yeah, if you're interested in watching it, basically I did one run. There's 97 Steam achievements for it.
No.
So there's a bunch of different outcomes and endings and choices you can make. It's really well written. It's very brutal and very crazy. Just like I said, self-plug, but not shameless. I highly support this product. It is coming to consoles later this month, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. And it's also on PC right now. Highly recommend this game. It's just, I heard nothing but good things about it, and it lived up to all the hype. It's really well written, funny, kind of got that gallows humor, but it's also just very crazy and insane. If you're looking for something that's like fresh, interesting, and just, you like cool stories, this story is really damn cool. I can honestly say that. Like, I was absolutely blown away with every little choice I was making throughout this game, and it didn't let me down. I go from laughing my ass off to just being like, oh, what the hell. And then besides that, I'm trying to speed run my way through the Yakuza games because I want to be a pirate.
Oh, like how many of them are there?
I'm on 5.
Okay. You're getting there.
So I'm trying to just kind of trying to do the mainline ones. I'm avoiding kind of the spin-off ones, but yeah, I'm on number 5 right now.
Okay, the main lines. Gotcha. So is that going to include the Like a Dragon games?
Like a Dragon is mainline now, but it's
okay.
So it's kind of weird. So there's like Yakuza's always been called Like a Dragon in Japan.
Yeah, then they changed it now for the West.
Yeah, so then they kind of just uniformed it over here in the West. What they made 7 when they switched over to Ichiban as like the main protagonist, they kind of just said like Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, and then they just kind of combined the two over there.
That's right. Yeah, I remember Mark telling me about that.
Yeah, and then the last thing I was playing, which I actually played twice, was the demo for Metaphor ReFantasio.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. I remember you mentioning that because I was catching up on your Dread Robert stream today, and you mentioned that game, but it didn't really go into it. What is that game?
It's basically Atlas is celebrating their 35th anniversary of being a company this year. So I was looking into it more. They basically started development of this game in 2016. They got people that worked on all sorts of Shin Megami Tensei games and that. And they even got artists who worked on famous manga, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I think everyone kind of knows what that is.
I've heard that name a bunch.
Yeah, so they got artists like that to work there. And it's basically, the best way I could say it, it's like a magnum opus and like a celebration of all of their JRPGs that they've made throughout their history put into one game. So there's bits of Persona, bits of Shin Megami Tensei, bits of Devil Summoner. It's basically like a love letter to all their RPGs with a bunch of references to like classes in other video games of theirs. And it's got a pretty brutal, dark story. It's tough. I'll say that much. It is kind of a challenge, and I'm looking forward to it. It comes out October 8th.
All right.
That's all I've been playing.
Cool. All right. As for myself, I have been playing a few things. The main thing I've been plugging away on is the Mega Man X collection on GameCube. I'm really close to being done with it. It has Mega Man X's 1 through 6, and I've played X6 before, but it was when the X Legacy collection came out in 2018, and I vaguely remembered it. And I know a lot of people like hate on X6, and I'm now understanding why. So I'm kind of running out of steam despite loving the Mega Man X franchise. This Mega Man X6 is, and I'm almost done with it as X. Then I got to play through it again as 0, and then I'll be done with the X collection. but yeah, I'm definitely understanding why people do not like X6.
So wait, what's the issue with X6 exactly?
Just a lot of bad design choices with enemy types. Design choices.
Design choices.
Bad designs over here.
Have you seen my dog? I gotta get some water.
Bad enemy design choices, terrible mini bosses. Like,
okay.
After I finished my stream last night, I was talking to DJ and sharing my screen, and he was helping me with something. And I was playing some more of it just to show him because he's a big Mega Man fan as well. And this one level, you have fight this super annoying mini boss, like literally like 7 times in the same level, and it's annoying as crap. It's just a lot of really bad design things. So I'm looking very forward to being done with Mega Man X6. I'm just kind of out of steam, and I don't really want to, but I'm going to force my way through it because it's for the Retro Achievement GameCube launch event. For once I beat it, I will have it's a 3-point game, so I'll add 3 points to my score for the launch event. As I just mentioned last night, I've been doing Metroidvania Mondays, and I did the 3rd episode of that last night, and that was part 2 of Metroid Zero Mission. So I finished that off, and that was a lot of fun because it had been a very long time since I had played Zero Mission. It was almost like playing it for the first time again because it had been 20-ish years probably since I played it, or maybe a little less than that since I think it came out in 2004. But that was fun. Had a great time doing that. And DJ happened to just hop on. DJ Access happened to hop on and chat with me while I was playing because he's a big Metroid fan as well. And then, yeah, after we talked for another hour, I think, after the stream ended. And then unfortunately, the other thing I've been playing is on Wednesdays, I've been doing Dude Souls with Dude. He's been coaching me through Dark Souls, and I'm hating every second of it. And yeah, so I'll be doing more of that tomorrow night.
I mean, the whole thing with like Dark Souls is that it's just mainly just kind of grind. It's your very typical like JRPG fashion. Just it's an action RPG instead of a turn-based, and you are just having to farm and do all that shit. And yes, you can get to know like patterns and stuff like that. It's like I understand the appeal, but it's just like I don't know. I'm kind of done with it. Like I don't want to torture myself so much, and I don't really care to be so repetitive.
Yeah,
we've just also reached market saturation with Souls-like games.
And then there's that.
Yeah. So I'll be doing more of that tomorrow night, unfortunately. But I hate it. But I'm gonna at least beat it. I don't know how many streams it's gonna take, but yeah. And Dude's over on Rumble saying I've already got the 30 points needed for the gold tier. Yeah, and I'm still only at 5. But we'll be talking more about that on Thursday on Achievement Chasers. So with that, last thing before we get into our topics for the night, I'm going to go say hi to the chat. We got Real Wade Nation here. What's up, Wade? Good to see you tonight, buddy. Daxnar saying, hail all, have a good stream. Dude was here, but then as I DM'd him, I'm like, hey, we're live on Rumble. He's like, oh yeah, you are. So that's his preferred platform. And Snapple Rai Rai is here saying, hello, everyone. What's up, Snapple Rai Rai? Good to see you, buddy. And Christian Frades is here. Good evening, Christian Frades. He's been playing Dead or Alive 4. I'm not much of a fighting game fan, but I've heard that that's a pretty good fighting game. So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and get into our topics for tonight. And Filter was a bit of a bum and did not have a topic suggestion. So
I'm sorry. I don't.
Boo.
No worries. So,
wow, just kicking him right in the nuts.
I had it coming.
Supposed to be the number one hater, and you can't even come up with one topic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to be consistent with the hate, right? I mean, that was actually, I'm like, I don't want to bring anything and be overly negative. Like, oh my God.
You not wanting to be overly negative? I thought that was like your pastime.
I'm more than happy to do it on my own stream, absolutely. And when I'm doing my thing on a gaming stream, but I don't always want to be negative. When it's certain people, I will try and torture them. Huh?
You know what Neil really likes? So do this all stream is tangents. Always go off on one.
Oh, I think I've already handled some of that already.
Yeah. So some of the topics I picked for we had Carl gave me suggestions for a couple topics, but the rest of them I came up with, and I came up with a couple that I thought would be good topics for Filter given his reputation. So for first off, for our topic tonight is, what is a feature or a trope, something that you see in video games that you don't ever want to see again? It's a trope that needs to go away, needs to die in a fire. And so I'm curious to hear from you guys. What's something that you never want to see, trope, feature, something along those lines that you never want to see in a video game again? So anybody have a something they want to kick us off with?
Yeah, I have one, but
All
it's
right.
too easy. Identity politics. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. It's not hard. Stop it. Like, we have had so many games encompass so many things, and it's like the most recent thing, the Ghost of Yotei, they're like going, oh, the Chuds hate it because it's got a girl in it. Like, oh no, dude. No, we don't hate it because it has a girl in it. We're already pushing against it because one of the creatives behind it, they're like going, well, if you don't like the game, then don't buy it. Like, going, great. Thank you for telling me already. You screwed it up.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off.
Yeah.
I just want to fact check that. It wasn't a dev. It was the ex-head of Sony.
I know, but the thing is, though, is that he was there when it started. So that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
I mean, everything he would know. So anyway, well, long story short, we're not going on a tirade on this one. Don't insult your fans. First off, don't insult the people who want to play your game. I'm not saying this game is going to flop. Now, that was on my thumbnail because it got clicks and it pissed people off. The thing is, though, is that if you read the title and you watched the whole video, I said nothing about the game flopping. I said, if they don't course correct and get rid of this attitude, if you don't like it, don't buy it, it's going to flop. And that's not how Ghost of Tsushima did. It was a rocket to the moon. Ghost of Tsushima was huge. And so just do that. Like, just nobody cares about a female protagonist. I mean, how many Tomb Raider games are there?
Yeah.
When was Tomb Raider invented? I don't know. About the mid-90s?
Yeah, it's like the whole argument. It's like, oh, it doesn't have it has a chick in it, so you guys hate it. I don't know the names for the types of arguments. I think straw man might be a
that's what I was about to say. The exact word. Those are just the straw man voices out there.
But yeah, telling attacking your fans and telling them not to buy it is never a good way to start off.
No.
The game itself, from what little we've seen of it, looks great. I'm definitely interested in it. The things behind the scenes are definitely looking very worrisome, but I hope that it doesn't go into the game itself, and I hope that the game turns out great.
I mean, how hard is it? How hard is it just to say for somebody to come out, like the voice actor, somebody just to come out and say, just wait until you guys see the game and hopefully you. Oh no,
she started blocking everybody.
Oh no, I know. She went on the mass block tirade. I was like, well, there you go. You're sinking your own damn ship. I mean, I'm not your audience. I wasn't gonna be playing it anytime soon, but I'm just here laughing at it anyway. So
yeah, it's not that difficult to just be like, hey, we think it's great. Judge the game when it comes out, rather than
That would have chilled so many people out so fast. That would have everybody would have settled and we're like, oh, we might not have anything to worry about actually. So let's wait and see, sort of thing. I know it because it was just sparking everybody's reactionary,
when you get defensive, over something, you're hiding something and you're guilty. I'm sorry. It's like the person who literally, it's like the cheating spouse who's like going, you're cheating on somebody. I know you are. And you're like, going, what? Like,
where did this come from? Where did this
projection come from? And it went like that. It was the former VP of, Sony, and it was the actress herself. They just went off and you're like, I'm confused. And then all of a sudden the gears start clicking because it's like, we've seen this before. So I hope it doesn't
turn out that great.
No, I want the game to be successful. I don't care if there's a female character. I really don't, because quite frankly, if you watch Shogun, there are women who knew how to handle swords and weapons.
I've heard that was a great show. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's an incredible show. Incredible show. So, no, and one of the most incredible characters in the show is like a 4'3" small woman who literally plays opposite of a 6 foot tall man who basically is considered a colonizer, but it's not treated like that. And so it just tells a good story. That's why it was so good. She's a powerful woman, even though she's small and she can handle a weapon. It's not hard. It's really not hard to tell a good story, guys. It's really not. That's my advice right there.
It's not hard to tell a story, but it's hard to tell people how to handle PR because nobody in the game industry seems to handle PR well.
Yeah, for sure.
Or Hollywood.
Yeah, dude saying people would commit mass genocide for more Metroid games. It's like, yeah, that's my favorite Nintendo franchise. I would kill for more games from, with Samus in them.
I mean, just take that 1 minute. Take that 1 minute trailer reaction to Prime 4 when it was first announced. Everybody was
with like, just the logo, like
just the logo, and that was all anybody was like, yeah, like there you go. Like, what are you talking about?
Like the meme at the like the bar where all the guys are watching
it was
soccer
exactly
in the goal, and they all go like nuts.
It was pretty much that, yeah.
What was that, Ryan?
I was what was I gonna say?
Ooh, squirrel.
Duel. Yeah,
no, I about Samus new Metroid games, and you had a thought.
I said, would you give a kidney?
Given that we are getting a Metroid Prime 4, and we already know it's coming, probably next year. No, but if we went another 10 years without a Metroid game, I would consider it.
What kind of fan are you with that response? I don't understand. He's like, shut up, dude.
Carl, do you have a trope that you would like to never see in video games again?
Yes, I would like studios to stop giving Kojima money to make games.
Yes. Yes. What games? He's just basically creating movies. And they're worse than David. They're worse than David Cage's. David Cage is king.
I'm just so out on this whole like Strand stuff and everything else like this. This like weird like.
You weren't a fan of Death Stranding?
I rather have just took a hammer to my nuts. It would have been more entertaining.
It's as subtle as a brick wall.
It's as interesting and entertaining as looking at someone throw paint against the wall and then having go, oh yes, I see. The critique of the Iraq War.
That is art.
I used to be such a fan of Kojima thanks to the Metal Gear series and everything, but then you start like you say, you look behind the scenes and you see he had a Tard Wrangler, and that was the one of the other writers on the team, and I can never remember his name because it's such a Japanese name. But he had a guy that was up until Metal Gear Solid 3, he was always on the writing staff, and then once he left and Kojima was fully basically in charge of writing, and you had Metal Gear Solid 4, and you saw how that train wreck happened. It's like, oh, I see. And it just continued game after game after game. I'm like, I can't keep supporting you, dude.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, Filter, is your favorite Metal Gear game is Survive.
It's still more original than most of Kojima's writing. So yeah.
Oh god.
See, I have like the one issue that like Kojima does is like when you play Metal Gear, everyone's like secret agent, Spec Ops and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like they're wacky code names and stuff. Like it makes more sense.
Yeah, it's a take on like a basically kind of like Bond and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. But then you get to Death Stranding and people still have those wacky, stupid code names, and it's like, bro, you're just delivering packages in this game for the most part. Like,
his name is
be a little normal.
His name is Bridger, and he builds bridges. Oh, whoa!
And there's like every cameo under the sun in that game,
dude. Oh, he is such a.
Jeff Keighley, the head of Famitsu, he was also in that game.
I know Guillermo del Toro was in it. I know Conan O'Brien was in it.
Yeah, he loves his Hollywood friends.
He's such a starfucker. I'm like, god dang it, dude.
Did you call him a starfucker?
Yes, he is.
That's
exactly what Kojima is. It's an accurate description of him. I'm sorry to be so foul, but it's
I second that too. I second it.
It's all right, Fractured. Nerdy loves when you cuss on the stream.
No,
all the time.
That's why
you can see the light leave his eyes every time
I'm apologizing. I'm sorry, but it's just like the only like true descriptor to Kojima I can think of for him. It's like that's all he does. I mean, I guess you could say I don't think clout chasing is the accurate term. He just really is like he's celebrity obsessed. I call him a Westaboo because he is so obsessed with the West and everything in the movies and all the actors. It's like, dude, chill.
He's Hollywood nut chasing is what he's doing. He's looking to lick the ball sack of Hollywood, and that's not how you make a video game. Also, at the same time, you learn after a while to say, you know what, nerdy can off, and that's how you.
That was great. Basically, Konami did what Capcom should have done before they put Keiji Inafune in charge of their company.
Well, and Kojima got in charge of Konami, and look what happened with Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, so basically, Keiji Inafune was part of the dark times of Capcom when you ran him into the ground because he was also a Westaboo. And then after they fired him, everything got better. Konami basically was like, no, Kojima, we're Konami. We don't need you.
Yeah.
So, hey, I like Kenji Inafune. He's responsible for Mega Man.
Yeah, and then he's also responsible for running Capcom into the ground.
You see, you have these creatives, and they should only be within, like, maybe, like, being the idea guys and stuff like that, or just staying in their creative position. They should not be running anything. They should not be in charge of decisions. They need they need to be whipped and put in the line, because otherwise they just go so far off track. And they want, and I get it, like they want to do all their different ideas and stuff like that, but that they can't. They need a little bit of direction. That was kind of Peter Molyneux's failing too. Was like,
we don't talk about the devil in this podcast.
Hey, I used to like him too. He was really passionate about his games. He just, again, needed a Tard Wrangler.
Yeah, con artists are very passionate in getting the money. You are correct about that.
I really like that term, by the way, Tard Wrangler. Like, sometimes I need that because, look, I mean, and let's be honest here. Let's call a spade a spade. No, not everybody's good at everything. No, and that goes for content creation too. It's like, I'm not going to make all these animated AI kind of like things where, you know, it's just, there's no face of me. It's my voice and I overlay it. Like, I can't do that. Some people can do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm fucking retarded. Sorry, dude.
Like a VTuber?
Oh, no, not even VTubers. You know, because like they're actually people who, like, you know, they visit history channels and they recreate sinkings of ships, but they use like literally like Unreal Engine 5, and then they just overlay their voice. I don't know how to do that.
That's cool.
I mean, I'd love to learn, but nobody's say like going, hey, bro, come here, because it's a niche market. Like VTubers are kind of like a niche market. It's like, I mean, you know, you can't really be a dude and be like going, hey there, ladies, how you doing? Welcome to, you know, it's like, it doesn't.
I mean,
it doesn't
work.
I mean, I could, but like, I don't. It's not my thing. Not everybody's good at everything, and that's why there are segmentations in Hollywood and in gaming and in everything, in the military. Like, you know, there are specialties for everyone. You may be a great producer or a great director, but you're gonna be a writer.
Yeah,
that's the way it is. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it kind of lends credence to we've had a lot of, you know, great franchises, you know, who have gone downhill, and I think that, you know, Metal Gear is a good example. You know, so
dude is saying that Konami should have given Igarashi more free reign though, because Bloodstain is proof that because that was a pretty good game.
Well, I always like I forget which Dirty Harry movie it was, but Harry Callahan said it. A man's got to know his limitations. And I think that's just a fact. You just got to know what your limitations are and go towards your strengths, because, yeah, you can't do everything. So I think that's very true.
So, and back on the last when we were talking about Ryan's thing, the female leads. It's like no one's having a problem with the Echoes of Wisdom. We're finally getting a game, a Zelda game. We're actually playing a Zelda, and everyone's
there was some people that tried to say that was well.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of people trying to kick up some dust, but that got slapped down pretty fast.
I think I remember hearing about that like a couple months ago, like right after it got announced. That I thought that was just people trolling, but I don't know if anyone was legitimately.
I mean, it definitely could be.
Probably a little column A, a little column B.
It was more drifting than trolling, if you ask me.
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, but
trying to capitalize on the Zelda name, and then they realized, oh no, autistic Zelda fans will not take this.
No, Zelda fans are like, in my opinion, Lord of the Rings fans. Like, they're like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. If you do it right, we'll praise you. But if you get up, you're gonna get the middle finger. And that's what we're kind of seeing with Rings of Power. So it's one of those things. Tomb Raider's the same way. The new Tomb Raider games, I like them.
Like the rebooted ones from the last
yes.
Oh, hold on.
Those are actually not bad. I haven't played the third one, but the first two are
objectively horrible. No. Are they Tomb Raider? I'm gonna give you a little bit of maybe doubt press on that
X
one.
Doubt.
Yeah, a little bit of press X to doubt. And my favorite Tomb Raider game is Tomb Raider Legend. I think that was, in my opinion, the most incredible one. That was my favorite. So, but do I hate them? One. No. Yeah, I think it was universally praised. Also, if you buy it on Steam, the graphics look great. So
I think that's one of the few Tomb Raider games I've played. Speaking
even
of,
Anniversary was good.
While we're on the topic of Tomb Raider, the remaster, or I don't know if it's technically a remaster, but the old ones that just got released earlier this year, I think, as a bundle of all three, at least on Xbox, is currently on sale for 50% off.
They're a remaster. They're not a remake. They're not remaking anything. It's just remastering the graphics and stuff like that. They look great.
So, okay, yeah. I'm just looking back at which ones I played. Yeah, Anniversary and Legend are the two Tomb Raider games that I've played. Those are pretty good. But all right. For me, the thing that's irking me the most right now, so it's a bit of recency bias is my answer for this question, is poor checkpoint / save spots. And that's solely because of Dark Souls. It's super
that's kind of by
retarded that there's not save points before each boss fight, and you have to go trek back to the boss every time that you die. Right, so you can't just focus on fighting the boss. You have to make your way back to the boss every time. I think that is horrible design, and I hate it. So that is the most pressing trope that I think needs to die as of right now. But one that I often rag on, I know I've talked about it on Party Chat before. It's been a long time since I brought it up though. Is overly handholdy / stringent tutorials. That annoy the crap out of me when it's like, here, take your cursor and put it on this pixel and build this item right here. Don't put it on the space next to it. Put it on this space right here. It's
you have to do
just
it exactly
let me know what I need to do and then let me do it. Don't force me to do it exactly the way you want me to do it. I hate that.
Hey, remember when we had to actually read the instruction booklet and how to play the game? Oh, I meant
that.
Instead of, like you say, like forcibly inserting tutorials into the game. Like, that's how they basically get away with, like, kind of like their own additional runtime on a game, is by inserting the what would have been in the instruction booklet, but into the game. Like, no, we used to know how to read and stuff.
so actually, let me kind of like retract what I said earlier. I've actually started playing a game again, but it's like a new version of an old game on the phone. It was basically SimCity, because I grew up playing that on the PC, and they did that. I know how to build cities in SimCity because I was around for that, but they walked you through, they're like, click on this, and I'm like, okay, and click and drag here, and it's like, okay, I know what
I know what I'm doing. Stop it.
And it's like it was a lot of fun to like actually revisit building cities as like a mayor, and like things would fail. You get tornadoes and all that kind of stuff every once in a while. It was Godzilla that would show up or something crazy, or aliens.
I think
it was just like a generic monster. They had a generic monster. But you knew it was Godzilla. It was a generic like orange T-Rex looking thing.
But I literally started playing it the other night because I was talking with some coworkers on Sunday night, and it was a really slow night. And I was like, we were talking about games that we played when we were younger, and I was like, oh, I played SimCity, and they're younger than me, but they know about the game. They're like going, dude, that's gay. And I'm like, all right, hold up.
Whoa. Back up.
They're playing some like egg game where you like build a farm. I don't know. I don't understand, but it reminded me of SimCity. I downloaded it and it was a lot of fun, but yes, the tutorial is they literally step by step. You click here, then you drag this there, and then you come up here. And it's like, what? Like, it takes the common sense out of it. Like, people don't have common sense anymore. I don't know. I don't get it.
So, Filter, have we given you any ideas for this topic yet?
I mean, at first I was like, wait, we're just talking about generic problems within the industry itself, not for games necessarily, but I mean, like, this was what I had already thought of before. In my, like, I was kind of bringing up the list of my brother, and we were both kind of bouncing off of each other. I was like, one thing I remember at least was prevalent for a good bit was certainly the detective mode, or at least that that style of the special vision to help you find stuff. And it was kind of funny because, like, we were thinking about, I was like, oh wait, that even goes back to like Aliens versus Predator on the PC back in the day, because you had, of course, the Predator's visions that you could cycle through. The Alien had its special vision, but like Batman popularized it with the detective mode and everything. The Arkham games, while that worked beautifully for those games and everything, but
have all done it too.
Then everybody started, tagging along with it. And it's just like, at the same time, it takes away from visuals because you have nothing but this. I feel bad for like any of the artists that especially worked on the Arkham games, because it was like you were in nothing but detective mode for a majority of those, for at least Arkham Asylum. But yeah, like it was certainly, and I don't know if this is how still true this is for using that special vision mode, which I'm like, you could chill it out. You could chill it out, please, by all means. Just let me either, like, I'm sure you could find a creative way to be like finding clues or what have you, where it's not obstructing your visuals and stuff like that. So that was at least a trope that would be like, or a gameplay function. I could be like, we could do with that for a bit. We're cool.
Okay, yeah, good answer. I didn't think about that, but I have heard that on like list videos, like things that need to go away. Like, the special vision modes are like, very prevalent nowadays.
Yeah, and if you could really work it in, like I said, with like it was with the Aliens vs Predator games and with Batman, where it's something that feels a little more organic. Okay, I could maybe get behind that, but when it feels just so tacked on and like, hey, use this mode to find the clues and whatnot, it's like, no thanks.
Yeah, one of the older ones. I don't know if you would. I mean, it is different vision modes, but I don't know if you would classify it in what you're talking about, like tropes that need to die. Is right here below me is my man Sam Fisher. That was one of the early ones to do it as well, with his night vision, and then there was also thermal vision in the first Splinter Cell, and then some of the other ones had different. They came up with new vision mode types. And Metroid Prime did it as well. But for a Metroidvania game, it definitely makes sense in first person.
A little bit, yeah.
It's definitely interesting to hear how that started, because I understand, that special vision mode, investigator mode, because I just, after watching The Penguin, I became interested in the Arkham games, so I just downloaded Arkham Asylum. It'll probably be something played after Silent Hill Homecoming, which is I believe the fourth one.
Have you not played the Arkham games before?
I've never played them. No,
never played them.
No,
good games.
Homecoming is like the third one, or the fifth one.
Is it the third one?
Yeah, because 4 is The Room.
Okay, so I was right. 4 is The Room. 5th is Homecoming. So yeah, anything before that is only the remake. I swear
I didn't hit it. Oh, hi, Mock.
So, yeah.
By the way, how's your sex life?
How's your sex life?
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
I've never actually seen that movie. I just know the meme.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
All right, we'll move on to our next topic for the evening. And this was one of the ones I was like, oh, this would be a good one. Definitely interested in hearing this one from Filter. So there have been a lot of, unfortunately, over the years, there have been a lot of video game studios that have been closed for one reason or another, got acquired by a bigger company and got shut down. EA.
The king of killers out there. Yes.
Or maybe they just didn't do so hot. So curious from your guys, what are some of your studio closures that hit you the hardest, that made you the saddest? So
I mean,
I was gonna say, I hope you have an answer for this. I want to go to you first.
I mean, if we could talk some metaphorical deaths, I'd certainly say BioWare has been dead for quite some time, sadly.
That's a good one.
That did pop into my head, but technically they're not closed.
No, I know. But I'm gonna kind of like maybe, I don't know, be a little bit different on this one, but I'll go back to the day of we lost Westwood Studios. The ones behind Command and Conquer and everything, and what a great company! I mean, I love Red Alert. The Red Alert series was fantastic, especially you can't get better than that damn Hell March theme. But I mean, what a series! Yeah,
you can hear it, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Already that was my childhood, bro.
Already playing in my head. But it was, I love that series to death, and man, what a like, yeah, they got merged into like EA LA Studios or whatever, but I mean, that's a death. And it even says defunct on, I checked the wiki page. I'm like, I want to make sure I do have like a confirmed kill here.
Confirmed.
Yeah, kill confirmed. I mean, the death list of EA, they're like a slasher villain. They've got more than anybody out there. It's sad, but
the meme of the Grim Reaper and all the doors. It basically EA with all the different studios they've closed.
Basically, because I mean, I could have said Pandemic, but I'm like, I love Battlefront 2 and everything, but I thought Westwood Studios, man, what a loss there. Because I've gone back and rewatched some of the old like FMVs from the days of FMVs. Yeah, from especially the Command and Conquer series. Like, even as cheesy as they were, they were freaking great. And and with those, we even had the late great James Earl Jones in some of those for Command and Conquer.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Toronto. I swear Gary Oldman was in there too somewhere, but I could be getting him mixed up with someone else.
He might. Yeah, I don't think he was, but also fortunately, like, I don't know how you want to play that one, but George Takei was also in some of them. But for the Red Alert 3, he was the leader of the Japanese Empire. Certainly the faction I enjoyed playing. But yeah, I mean, they're right there, Westwood Studios. R.I.P.
When I was looking
gave us some great fun.
When I was doing some research for looking through lists of defunct studios, I saw Westwood get mentioned in a lot of forums.
Yep. So.
I always liked the concept of Command & Conquer. The first Command & Conquer is the only Command & Conquer game I've ever played. I always liked the idea of the Command & Conquer games, but given that RTS is not my thing, that's why the first one's the only one I played.
RTSs are not my thing either, but I always found a way to have fun and still like try and play it. Like, I'd at least select a map, so I'd be like off in the far corner, so I couldn't get so zerg rushed in the beginning. But man, I mean, nothing better than ion cannon. Ion cannon charged.
I love RTSs, StarCraft, Command & Conquer, Red Alert, Retaliation. I always played the Soviets because literally it'd be like, yes sir, acknowledged. And then of course, like the Tesla coils, be like,
Tesla coils were dope.
And you'd hear this like
turn to ash.
You turn to ash. But like, one of the best parts though, there was a huge map, huge. It's kind of like, I think it was called Island Hoppers or something like that. It not only had like you and maybe the bots playing, but it also had ants. It had giant ants, like if you were playing in yeah, you guys have never seen this? So like the green ants were like the soldier ants. The blue ants were like basically the electricity ants, kind of like a Tesla coil. And then the red ants were actually fire ants.
Sounds like
And
Pikmin.
oh, it was so, I mean, you're talking about 1998, 97-ish. Oh, it was
right.
so good. The PlayStation version is the only one that you could actually use cheat codes on.
Yeah.
Because of course EA just decided to be a giant bag of knobs and take them all out for the remasters. And that it sucks, man. Like I remember playing StarCraft. Like you use cheat codes, you can see the whole map, right? Because the whole map could see you, but you couldn't see the whole map.
The fog of war.
Yeah. And it's like you could do the same thing. And it was I'm pretty sure it was called Island Hoppers, but it had like giant ants that were the size of tanks. And I always played the Soviets because they had the best tanks. They had Tesla coils and they had missile subs. And it was just I will remember this forever.
Was just great too.
It was incredible. Even to this day, when like if I'm kind of joking around and I fart near somebody, I'll go A-bomb launch detected.
Yeah, the one RTS I never played it online. I was never had the guts to go play it online, but the one RTS that I did play quite a bit against just the AI was Total Annihilation. I did like that one.
Oh yeah.
I guess
another good one.
I didn't even think about it till just now, but that could also be a studio closure that could be on this list. That was Cave Dog.
Okay.
But they did later on release the Supreme Commander games. Those are the spiritual successors to the Total Annihilation.
I've played the Supreme Commanders with some friends back in the day. Those were fun.
So, Carl, do you have a studio that closure bummed you out?
Studio Japan, Sony first party studio that made a lot of really good cult classic hits that a lot of people enjoy, like Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Gravity Rush, a lot of great games, especially for the Vita. They helped co-publish a lot of games on the Vita, like Soul Sacrifice and Freedom Wars and all that stuff, and they just closed them down. It's like
I didn't realize that studio was closed. Because didn't Gravity Rush didn't come out that long ago, did it?
Yeah, it was part of like when they were doing a lot of restructuring Sony recently. It's like a couple years now that it's been gone.
Wasn't some of the you said it was on the Vita, right?
Yeah,
Gravity Rush?
Gravity Rush is on the Vita, yeah.
Okay.
But they also did other games too for the Vita. Gravity Rush 1 and 2 got Gravity Rush got eventually ported as a remaster to the PS4, and then they got a sequel. Like they just have like a lot of lists. Like even now and then I'll pop on like a PlayStation game and see that they either co-published or help work with another studio to help get it for PlayStation. I think they helped with the Patapon series too, if I recall correctly. If anyone knows about that one, for sure check that out. I know that the first two are now on PlayStation 4. But yeah, that one for sure was hit me in the gut. It used to be Tango Gameworks until Microsoft sold them, but yeah, it's definitely a Japan studio. Still hurts every day. Even though some of them went on to make Astrobot, Astrobot still is not the same to me.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't played any of those. Team Japan is what you said it's called, right?
Studio Japan.
Studio Japan. Yeah, I haven't played any of those games, but I do know that some of those games are very well regarded. So for me, I think it's like I had to go and do some homework on this one because I was like I know of a lot of studios that closed, but I'm like a lot of these didn't really mean much to me. But then I stumbled across someone said this one. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my answer, and that was Sierra.
Oh God,
that was like. Though I think Sierra might have been some of my very first PC games back in the day.
Yeah, they were kind of leading the charge for a lot of those, especially like the point and click adventure games. They were known for being brutally difficult and very punishing to you for making bad choices.
I know that they did a lot of point and clicks. I didn't really play a whole lot of point and clicks as a kid. I didn't.
I just know their
reputation.
Now. That was just their reputation for sure.
But yeah, they had a lot of point and clicks. The thing that I know them most for is the original Half-Life.
Yeah.
But yeah, they. I was looking through essentially their filmography for games. I don't know if there's a term for that, like their gameography. And I did not realize how long that list was. Like, wow, they did a lot of games. And I'm pretty sure I was looking at it just a couple hours ago, and I think they were founded in the late 70s. They'd been around for a while. I think
they had a good tenure.
I think their official defunct date was like 2008, so they had a good run.
Well, and imagine this, and I always forget the names, but it was started by a husband and wife, Ken and Roberta Williams, and she had been around in the gaming industry for since 79. But they say women in gaming weren't relevant till 2014. What the hell? I guess I'm just wrong on this.
Yeah, don't believe your lying eyes.
Oh.
So yeah, Sierra had. I was looking through it. I'm like, wow, there's a lot more games that I even realized. I couldn't even name them all, but they had just such a huge list of a lot of really high quality games.
They had the Leisure Suit Larry games.
I know of those.
I'm just looking at the list too, because I'm just trying to get an idea.
Yeah,
for
Leisure Suit Larry. I think they more recently they did some Crash and Spyro games. Yeah, the Half-Life. They did a lot of stuff that eventually became Valve's stuff, like Fortress and they just had a great list of backlog of games. So
that had thrown me through a loop too, because I had completely forgotten Sierra had an inkling of involvement in Half-Life. I was like, when I went back, I think I was checking back some old stuff. I was like, oh my god, that's right.
Yeah, I remember seeing their logo every time I booted up Half-Life.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's right. I mean, geez, love Half-Life. That's one of the early games that did drag me further into the PC gaming market. I was like, holy crud, this is something else.
So, Ryan, what about you? Do you have a sad studio closure that hit you the hardest?
I do. It is probably one of the biggest ever and one of the biggest travesties of all time. Thank you, Disney, for doing what you do and just kill everything like EA. LucasArts.
Okay. I did think of that. I mean, they do technically still exist, but not in the form.
No, they've been defunct. It's now just Lucasfilm, basically.
It's
okay.
Yeah. So Lucasfilm
If
games.
I had realized that, then LucasArts would have been my answer.
Yeah, so Lucasfilm Games was actually a thing first, but it transformed into LucasArts roughly roughly around the late 80s.
That sounds
right. And
right.
LucasArts is responsible for some of the most incredible Star Wars games ever.
Yes.
It's not just some of the most incredible Star Wars games, but some of the most incredible games ever.
Yeah.
When Disney decided to buy it, because quite frankly, the mouse likes to take its small little wiener and stick it anywhere it can and kill things, they decided that LucasArts was dead.
Well, and it got bought up by EA at the time too.
That was I think they got exclusive rights to it.
Oh, that's right. It got exclusive rights to it.
Yeah, EA got exclusive rights from Disney, but Disney's the one that killed it, like they killed the EU. So what had happened is that instead of taking all that incredible talent from LucasArts and bringing it over to the new, they decided to lay everybody off and say, y'all have a nice day. And they rebranded the games. And you're seeing that we get now. So no, LucasArts was a gem.
What are you talking about? We just got Star Wars Outlaws.
I know you're joking, but even the joke
it's still painful.
Oh my god! Did you see the coat behind that one? They're like, "Oh wow, the Star Wars Outlaws, didn't sell the way we thought it would because, quite frankly, insert this here." Why? Because it looks like a giant raging pile of crap that, quite frankly, I wouldn't stick a broomstick up my ass for free access to.
There's a lot of things I wouldn't do that
was
for.
it too much? Sorry.
But
LucasArts is one that really bothers me. Deleting LucasArts in the EU of Star Wars really bothers me because you took incredible games like Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Star Wars The Old Republic. It's an EA game still run, but at
one
least
thing from pre-Disney that still exists.
and
it's
they're
the one
Disneyfying
thing.
the shit out of it as much as they can.
Yes, they are.
It was a slow
So-
burn at first, but now they've been ramping up a lot of the. And I have such a love-hate relationship with Star Wars: The Old Republic. There's a part of me that
do
really
tell.
enjoyed chapters 1 through 3, but oh man, after that with the Knights of the Fallen and the Hutt Cartel stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, you guys lost your charm. Sorry. But I still go back and play. I'm kind of like melee games with Dead by Daylight. I just go back and torture myself every so often.
It's just not good. Like what did you do, Disney? You had all this lore. You had all these games underneath your tool belt that you didn't earn, you didn't make, and you just went, you were like a spoiled kid and said, I can do it better, and you threw it in the corner. And then it wasn't
And then
just
cherry pick the corpse for ideas.
Yeah, for bits that you could use.
Yeah, it wasn't just you threw it in the corner. You decided to stomp on a lot of it and then go like, oh wait, I like that piece. Sorry, my bad. Come here. And then you kept doing that. And it's like, and then you wonder why people are like, I don't like this. Like, I don't like any of what you're doing. You ripped this off from here, but then you said in a statement, Kathleen Kennedy, well, we didn't really have a whole lot of Star Wars stories to base this off of, and it's like, really?
Every time I see that clip, I want to punch my screen.
I do as well.
We didn't have 800-page novels. No, you have millions of pages to draw from.
You had basically outlines, drafts, you name it, to basically print money and make great content. You could have done it, but no. You had to throw out the goddamn. You just had to do it. Had to do it, didn't you? Like they're basically Dr. Frankenstein, like you said. They threw the body out. Now they're just picking at the corpse, making their monster.
Did you see the article that came out recently? It says that the only thing that can save Disney Star Wars is Knights of the Old Republic. My first response is, you can stay away from all of that until you
save
fix
Star
your
Wars
house
while it's under Disney's
control.
I
keep doing my dance of cancellation for the Star Wars Old Republic remake. I keep hoping for that cancellation again.
I heard that it's back on course, and I was like,
my money's on it's never happening.
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I'm suspecting it's gonna be like the Rian Johnson trilogy. They're gonna bring it out every so often to mention. Yeah, like, hey, this is a thing, and then it'll go away for a while again.
This is still in the works.
No, it's still in the works. It's in the pipeline. We're gonna be working on it. Don't worry.
No, nobody wants that. Also, at the same time, if you did a remaster of the game for a new audience,
all you need to do is give it better graphics.
The only thing you should do is give it better graphics, because you can literally clear up some of the dialogue. And I say clear up as in clean it up. But there is thousands of hours of dialogue for Knights of the Old Republic, the original.
Yep.
Don't take away the turn-based. Don't take it away, because people like that. That's what it made it fun for its time. Yes, it makes it a little bit of a dinosaur, but quite frankly, it makes it retro and nostalgic because it won 144 gaming awards when that actually meant something.
Yeah. If I had realized that LucasArts was actually dead, that definitely would have been my answer as well. Because some of those LucasArts games are some of my favorite games, not just my favorite Star Wars games.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that LucasArts was actually killed. Like, not just in name, but in staff too. Like, the whole entire staff was literally laid off. Pink slips, go away. We're gonna do it better. And it's like, did you though?
No, you're not.
It's not even like they wanted to do it better. It's just Disney was like, we're gonna make more money by not having to pay these devs, and they pay us.
Yeah, one of the biggest companies in the world, and they're like the stingiest. They don't even pay their writers that like their proper like royalties is what I was looking for.
No,
the writers have to like sue Disney to get the royalties that they've already agreed to, because Disney's like, no, we're not going to give you the money that we owe you.
That's also why they just axed everything, because they wanted to rebrand and redo everything. So a lot of the ownership's under their umbrella, and they don't have, like you say, they don't have to pay old writers and stuff like that. They got all new ones that they've already are basically paying slave wages, as probably it is. And like, all right, now we can turn our profit. Piss off, wankers.
Yep.
we got our stuff now. We're good. We've rebranded Legends. Go away now.
It's basically just arrogance from people who think they can do it better.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
Yep,
it's that too.
It's really just what I believe. It's just Kathleen Kennedy thought she could just finally do everything on her own and finally show people that she can run this thing, and that she's not just the lady who grabs coffee.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it was not good.
Yeah, one of my favorite Star Wars characters right here. You can't see his head because it's cut off, but Fractured's usual avatar, my man Kyle Katarn. There he is, right there. And then, no, when we're talking about Half-Life, there's Gordon Freeman right there, headless. But yeah, all great picks. So, all right, we'll move on to our next topic, and this is one that was a last-minute addition from Carl, because he's like, "Hey, it's October. We're getting into the spooky season, so let's." And he also, I think, one of these has like a chance to pitch an idea. I think so. If you want to kick us off with this one and let us know what that was about, but he's wanted to talk about your favorite video game monsters. So, Carl, go ahead and kick us off with this one, since this was your topic.
Yeah, I starting this month, I try to do like a theme every month for what games I kind of stream. And this month I decided that it's going to be a tribute to Monster Madness from good old Angry Video Game Nerd.
Ah, yes.
So I decided just to kind of do that. And I was just like thinking, well, it's October 1st, obviously. And I was like, so, hey, why don't we talk about everyone's favorite video game monsters? And it was like, well, it's a little bit of things just to let everyone know. I do this every month on my channel. I figured it'd be a nice little topic to talk about just in general.
Oh, and Forkin Ryan is in chat. What's up, Forkin? Good to see you, buddy.
Hello there, Forkin.
Hello.
So,
it's always time to fork around. You know what I'm saying, mate?
To get him in the old in out. You know what I'm saying? Right into gummy. What's?
I like it. That was great.
So, Carl, since this was your topic, what is your favorite video game monster?
My favorite video game monster is from Monster Hunter World, and just because he is probably one of the most brutal-looking monsters out there, there's a monster called the Valhazak, and basically he's a giant dragon that lives in basically the dumping ground of all the dead monsters, so all the rotting parts and everything, and he wears dead dragons as his skin, so you never actually get to see his real form. So he's just a giant rotting dragon, like just going around. He has this laser beam that he shoots at you that like is just pure plague, and it cuts your health in half. He's really cool. And in Iceborne, he gets an upgraded version called the Biohazard of Valhazak. And on top of that, in this one, he still wears around this dead skin of other monsters, but they also grow giant fungus and spores, and it shoots spores everywhere. It's just like the epitome of like really fun fight, really fun music, really awesome design. And I just really do think that he's still my favorite monster of like all time in video games.
Nice. Yeah, when you're saying, yeah, it's from Monster Hunter, I should have guessed. So if anyone isn't aware, Carl loves his Monster Hunter. It's one of his. Is that your favorite franchise?
No, my favorite franchises are still probably Mass Effect, Halo, and Persona.
Okay, but it is up there.
Yeah, it's in my top 5 for sure.
Nice. So cool. All right. Well, for me, I did have to think about this one for a bit. Sorry, this one is kind of nebulous. It's like what qualifies as a monster. So sorry if I went outside the bounds of what you were thinking. but I thought this one applied quite nicely since it is the from a movie that I would consider a monster movie, and but it is in a game, and it's something that Fractured mentioned earlier when we was talking about vision modes, and that is the Predator from the Alien versus Predator games.
Ah, yes.
I've always thought the Predator was one of the coolest aliens with all his cool tech and his gadgets and stuff. And as he was mentioning earlier, the Alien versus Predator game, because there was one on 360.
That was like a reboot, yeah. But
that was a reboot. Yeah. I didn't play the original Alien versus Predator from the 90s, but I did play Alien versus Predator 2
that
on
one
PC
is
back in the 90s.
That one is basically still the top tier one to play too.
That game was awesome, and I loved every second of playing as the Predator in that game.
It was fun.
It was so cool. He had, he could like jump around super far. He had all sorts of cool gadgets.
Basically brought in a lot more of the weaponry too that you saw in like Predator 2, the Predator 2 movie and whatnot, and they just really kind of expanded on it. It was another just a blast of a game.
And the creature, I mean, it's obviously it's based on the movie, not didn't originate in the game, but just the Predator creature design was just really cool. I remember watching a stream not that long ago when they were talking about Predator, because originally the design was not that scary, and like the person who was like doing like sketch drawings of it before they decided on the final version was like drawing it like on a plane flight, and like the guy next to him's like, give it mandibles, and then they implemented that and it made it a much better looking alien. So
and it's also supposed to be like original, it was like more insectoid like, and was gonna be the suit actor was gonna be originally Jean-Claude Van Damme, as I recall.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Until like he either bowed out or it doesn't work. Yeah, something happened where he couldn't do it anymore. And then like they completely, because they were still doing the whole like first the stealth thing, and they were still, I think, working on that final design. And then they got to it finally, and it's like, oh my god, it just works. And I mean, you still can't beat that original Predator movie. That one is just still the GOAT.
Yeah, Predator is one of my favorite movies from the 80s, and great creature design. And in that game the Predator was so cool to play as, and then when you're playing the human campaign and you're fighting the Predators, it's like it was great.
Yeah.
So and Carl, I'm assuming this is the dragon you were just referring to, Carl, from your Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, the other photos I couldn't find of it were too dark. You have to look it up, but like this is like a good drawing of how it looks. It's got like a red skin. It's got like the double jaw and everything. It's spelt here. I'll post.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like the xenomorph mouth with a mouth inside of a mouth.
Yeah, I was noticing that too.
It's spelled like this.
So
you can look it up and see how it looks like in game, and it looks much better. But yeah, this is what I got.
Cool. So, what about you, Filter? You got a favorite video game monster?
I mean, I feel like, I mean, you used the Predator. I mean,
did I steal your answer?
No, actually, my answer. I mean, I'm a sucker for it, and I'll always be a fan. So, like, anytime you throw in Godzilla into a video game, man, I'm down. So, probably my favorite monster would be that. And like, they've done that for now. That Giga Bash monster game, which I still need to pick up one of these days. They've added them Godzilla's DLC, and
I should have guessed.
I love hate. I love the PlayStation 4 Godzilla game because I got to be Godzilla. I finally got to walk around and destroy cities, but it was very scaled down and limited to what I wanted. But I've always had the fantasy as a kid getting to be able to control Godzilla and destroy cities. I've wanted it for a long time. I'm not asking for a lot. And while the melee games and stuff, the fighting games for the Godzilla fighting games and stuff were fun, it just never satisfied that itch of destruction. So, but that's I mean, Godzilla will always be my boy.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but I should have. If I had put some thought into it, I probably would have guessed that. How much you love Godzilla.
Go Godzilla!
Exactly.
Dude's saying that Predator 2 was a good movie. I've never seen Predator 2.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You can't get beyond the first movie though, but it has its own unique charm to it.
Yeah, I will watch it eventually. I just don't know when, but I do need to watch it.
Wasn't the Predator in Predator 2 also a female Predator?
No, it was still a male Predator.
I thought it was a female one in that one for some reason too.
Narp.
I just might be misremembering because I haven't.
I know
seen
they've
Predator
done that
2 for so long. So
I know they've done that in the comics for the Predator comics and stuff like that. They've brought in the female side of the species, but not so far yet in the movies.
Four kids with you there, Filter, saying Godzilla is a perfect choice. And Ryan, what about you? You got a favorite video game monster? Is it?
I do.
Is it Deathclaw?
No.
Okay.
No, it's Superman.
What?
Superman?
I'm fucking joking. I
was like,
no.
I wouldn't really consider that a monster, given that he's very, basically human, just from another planet.
My brother's.
He's not basically human from another planet. He's Kryptonian.
Yeah, they look. You can't tell the difference between a Kryptonian and human by looking at him.
Racist.
Y'all look the same to me.
Well, gosh darn it, y'all aliens and
hold on before I move on. Got a highlight forking around. Dr. Disrespect is my favorite Predator.
Wow. Wow.
No, do you guys get that joke?
Yes, I get that one.
Yep.
No, he was actually a skin in Predator Hunting Ground too. That's why it's even more funny.
I did not know that.
Yes, Dr. Disrespect got a skin in the Predator Hunting Ground thing too.
No!
That's cherry on top. That is great.
That's why I had to see if you actually got
I did not
reference
know that.
even more. It's like a double whammy.
That's some extra layers there. That's beautiful.
One
Nicely
more thing
played. Nicely
before
played.
we get to you, Ryan. Dude is saying this might apply to Filter that Godzilla Destroy All Monsters on GameCube does have retro achievements. Wink, wink.
Oh, well, all right. I might have to break down and go for that then.
So, Ryan, what is your favorite video game monster?
My actual favorite video game monster is going to be Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2. Is.
I can see that.
It is one that is considered iconic in gaming. It has made basically appearances in other games, stuff like that. It's just this 9-foot tall, like husk that has this giant cage around its face, like it's almost being tormented for life. And it drags a sword, a giant sword that is literally probably the size of its body. And it drags it with one hand. It's like, and it made its way into the movie, the original movie.
Yeah.
Was that a Uwe Boll movie?
I thought it was a Paul Anderson movie.
Oh, that would be my second guess.
I think it was a Paul Anderson.
I'll Google
movie.
it real quick.
Okay.
I just know Sean Bean was in it.
Yeah, Sean Bean was in it. But anyway,
really?
Yeah.
How long did he last?
Actually, till the end of the movie, but it might have been implied he was dead.
Who did you say it was? Sorry, Neo.
Paul. I thought Uwe Boll. My second guess would have been Paul W.S. Anderson.
Some guy named Christopher Gans.
Okay, I do not know.
Okay,
Jan. He's French, so he doesn't matter.
I know that.
If you want to hear Carl's thoughts on French people, go listen to his last episode with Dread Roberts.
I do know Paul Anderson did the Monster Hunter movie.
He did.
Well, if it has Mila Djokovic in it, most likely he directed it. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I mean, hold on. Instead of let's not stomp on him too much, he made the original Mortal Kombat, which is y'all are understand. Yes, Paul W.S. Anderson. Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's him. So he can make whatever garbage movies after that he wants because he made that movie forever. That's a cult classic. It'll never die. But anyway, long story short, Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2, an incredible villain. It plagues you throughout the game, and whenever you hear that the dragon of the sword, it's one of those things you're like, you can't end him him or whatever. It's just a monster. So
he did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
I started looking up the Mortal. I'm like, no, he didn't. Oh my god,
he did Alien versus Predator as well.
Yeah.
I love
I did not realize that.
I still love the Mortal Kombat movie, even though it's just basically Enter the Dragon with the Mortal Kombat skin. Which I mean, that's already what the games are, anyways.
Sorry, hating again. Listen to him. You can just feel it.
Not hating. I'm just putting a very good comparison.
He's flashing his tongue at people.
The best part of that movie, and the best fight in that whole entire movie, by the way, which I'm so off topic, is basically when Reptile enters, like thrown into like the statue.
Him and Liu Kang go. Yeah,
and literally the voice. It's like the voiceover of like an actual Mortal Kombat, tournament. It's like Reptile. Oh, it's so good. All right, I'm done. That was mine. Pyramid Head.
Back to Pyramid Head.
The other one that I thought of is I was like, what's something from one of my favorite games? And you guys all know how much I love Mass Effect. Probably one of my favorite monsters to fight in Mass Effect are the brutes.
Brutes are cool. I was gonna say Reapers could have been a good option too.
Well, because you just mean like them collectively,
just
or like the actual like a single like actual Reaper.
One single Reaper, yeah.
Okay.
Like Sovereign.
Yeah, I didn't really consider that a monster, given that it's basically like a living machine. But I guess technically,
all right, embrace debate. Is Terminator a monster? Is the Terminator a monster?
I would say no, but the argument definitely could be
Fractured.
made.
Ryan, what do you think? Is the Terminator a monster?
Now I'm thinking. Hang on. I mean, I would look at it like I'd look at it in a monstrous side, yeah, just because of its relentlessness and just just how focused and trying to kill Sarah Connor and everything. I kind of put that I kind of put it in its own kind of monster category, even though it's a robot and everything, or a cyborg or whatever the hell they consider it. But I'd see it as monstrous, yeah.
How about you, Ryan? I guess he might have stepped away.
All right. So,
second question. I got a second question then, Neo. If you don't consider the Terminator a monster, what about Chucky? Is he a monster?
I would probably say no. Okay, Ryan's back.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I was doing something. We're talking about Sovereign.
Well, we're talking. Is Terminator a monster?
Yes, is the T-1000 a monster?
Yes.
Well,
in the first movie,
Terminator's a T-800, but
sorry.
Oh,
but they're both robots
out to kill.
Okay, so
I wouldn't consider it although it is monstrous, but I wouldn't consider it a monster.
Well, it's also about how it's portrayed, right? So the first movie, Arnold is, the T-800. Sorry, it's been a while since I watched the movies. Yes, he's very much a monster. He's this thing that cannot be stopped, and it's done kind of like horror-esque. And then, of course, T2 is done more like an action film. But the thing is,
like the difference between Alien and Alien.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing.
But the T-1000 is this horrendous monster that cannot be stopped. Like even by the original variant that used to, like when you watched the first movie, you were scared of, but now he's a good guy and he has all these things. But the T-1000, played by Robert Patrick, from the X-Files and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know
he was, yeah.
And Stargate Atlantis.
He was so much more terrifying in a sense. It was just the environment was not terrifying. The movie was more action. So had you put maybe the T-1000 in the first Terminator, it would have been definitely a horror movie.
Oh, it would have been even worse.
Yeah. So I would actually probably rank them as, kind of like monsters. They're unchanging, unfeeling things that don't stop. That's a monster.
Okay. Yes. So that's why I asked Neo the follow-up question is like, what does he put Chucky as then?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider Chucky a monster either, because the reason why we got on that topic is because I said one of my other favorite monsters was the brutes from Mass Effect. They're part of the Reaper faction, but Carl said, an actual Reaper, and I was like, I wouldn't really consider a Reaper a monster like Sovereign, since it is basically a living machine. So that's where we got on the Terminator talk.
Yeah, that's like a weird thing though, because then it's like, well, if it's a living machine, I think that's even scarier.
Oh yeah, definitely doesn't take away from its scariness. I just wouldn't really consider that a monster. I would consider a monster to have to be something that's, biologically alive, not a living machine.
An artificial intelligence sort of thing.
So supernatural beings aren't monsters.
I would consider supernatural beings monsters.
I'm just saying because you're saying it has to be biological. Supernatural beings.
Oh, gotcha. I guess more accurately, non-mechanical. Unless it was some sort of hybrid. Like, there was... what movie was that? There was a movie where it was like a human that they turned into put machine parts in it, and it was more machine than... And I'm not talking about Darth Vader. I want to say it was the movie Virus with Donald Sutherland and Jamie Lee Curtis, I think. They basically turned him into like this horrendous, grotesque machine.
Oh, I think I know that one.
So I guess that could... I probably would consider that a monster. So I don't know.
I just wanted to see how you'd go just for embracing debate. I don't want to fully derail the show. It's gonna be like, all right,
it makes for a great discussion topic though. It's like, is this, is X considered a monster?
The ultimate monster is man, as I've been told many times.
Yes, that is quite true in many cases. So, all right, on to our next topic. So this was another one that Carl suggested. I was like, that's a great topic. So I don't know what was the inspiration for this topic. So if you want to get into that, Carl, you're definitely welcome to. But sure. He suggested, what is your favorite clone game? And by clone game, not like, games that involve cloning, like a game that is basically a blatant ripoff of another game. So, Carl, if you want to let us know what inspired the question.
I think it's just because the video game industry, much like all entertainment, is monkey see, monkey do, chase the money. Yeah. And we have like what you've been doing with all the Dark Souls games. Obviously, we've seen a rise of like Souls-like clones out there, in every way, shape, and form. So I was just like, there are a lot of like really good, obviously this was based off of the success of game from time period, and there's a bunch from that time period. And I figured that it would be fun to just kind of talk about like a lot of those like maybe obscure games that you forgot about, or even like one that was just like everyone wanted their own Resident Evil. So like a Resident Evil clone obviously is like one of the better ones,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And before we completely get on this next topic, forking around and saying the classic monster movie I liked as a kid that isn't really a monster movie is Lake Placid. I like that movie as well.
That counts. The gator is a monster. It's a monster-sized gator.
Yeah, cheesy,
just cheesy fun.
Cheesy fun.
Yeah, cheesy. Scary movie. That was fun. I remember when the dude is leaning over the edge of the boat and he just comes and bites his head off.
Oh yeah,
that was great.
It's a horror comedy that leans more comedy than horror.
I remember being freaked out from it the first time I saw it, and then I saw it again like years later. I'm like, this is so cheesy.
Yeah,
but it's great.
Good old days after 9/11.
But to answer your next question, forking around, Pal World definitely would be a contender for clone game. I would say.
Yes, survival clone.
That may have been part of the inspiration for the question, but so I'm gonna go ahead and start off on this one because I want to steal Fracture's answer.
You know my answer to you.
I'll let you go first because I have a feeling we might have the same answer. So Fractured, if you want to kick us off on this one, go for it.
The one I do have on mine it goes into the GTA clone category, and that's Saints Row 2.
Oh, okay.
I'd say Saints Row was definitely more of the GTA clone, but I felt like with Saints Row 2, they found their own little voice with that game. They did have a pretty, they could have a very pretty serious main storyline. It was just then all the wackiness was certainly going on with everything else, like with the side missions and stuff like that. But it was still a very over the top storyline on top of it. They kind of took what GTA like San Andreas was, but they just turned it up to 11. And I thought they had a really good balance of everything with that Saints Row 2, and like they could have been like just the opposite to GTA seriousness. They could have been that more kind of comedy side with the serious side, but like I said, just that happy balance of everything going on within it. So I'd say probably for that, for sure. I mean, I was trying to think. I was like, oh man, there's like been so many of the boomer shooters now biting off of Doom even more than they already did back in the day. You had games like Strife and stuff like that, and Duke Nukem that came about. But I was like, my brother was like, hey, dude, Saints Row 2. I'm like, oh crap, you're right. So yeah.
It's like, Fractured, don't you remember the big purple dildo sword? You loved it.
Yeah, as I often say, I'm not big on the GTA franchise, but I do love games that it spawned. And I know I would have really enjoyed the Saints Row games. I just never got around to playing them. But I do like those type of games. Like, here it comes, Carl. Plug your ears. Crackdown.
That bastard Neo.
I love Crackdown.
I never played Crackdown. I heard about it, but I never played it.
Those type of like open world, more so, they're almost more like sandbox destruction games, like Crackdown, Just Cause,
Hulk's Ultimate Destruction.
I had never played that one, but I've heard that I need to.
Because
Prototype. I loved Prototype.
Oh, I was always more. I leaned more towards Infamous than.
I never had a PlayStation. I would have played Infamous if I had a PlayStation.
Yeah, but I never played Prototype really. So I need to give that game a go one of these days.
It's on PC. I think they're actually really good games.
I just never got around to them. It was just, like I said, I was just kind of focused with Infamous and stuff of the time. Because there was a time I stuck with consoles for quite a while before I made that full shift over.
All right. Well, since I didn't steal your answer, I thought I was going to. And yeah, I did have one boomer shooter that I played back in the day, and it wasn't Doom, but it was a game that was inspired by Doom, because I didn't play the original Doom until after I played Doom 2016. But my Doom, when I was a kid, and I loved this game, was the beginning of Kyle Katarn's journey, and that was Dark Forces.
Yes, Dark Forces.
That's what I thought your answer was going to be. That
did come up in my brother and I conversing about it. But I'm like, you know what? I gotta at least throw some curveballs here and there.
Can't be too on brand, you were saying.
Yeah. So exactly. Dark Forces, basically Star Wars' Doom ripoff, and I loved that game. And Filter, did you play the remaster that came out this year from Night Dive?
No, but I did play a fan remaster of it, and it was beautiful, and it worked perfectly, and I loved it. I had fun.
Yeah, I haven't played Dark Forces in forever, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing through it again at some point, because I love that game. So, and then another one that is also a Doom ripoff that I played back in the day, and I think it's free on Steam. I'm pretty sure I have it in my Steam library. I haven't played it yet, but it was the talk of all my friends because we all had this game and played the heck out of it, and that was Chex Quest.
Oh,
you guys remember Chex Quest?
Chex Quest? What the heck?
It was a reskin of Doom, and it was done by the cereal Chex.
Okay, I was about to say, is this the cereal?
Yes, you start off with the spork, and you get better weapons, and you're fighting like these alien monsters. But it was basically the first few levels of Doom reskinned to be more child friendly, and I loved that one. I'm looking forward to going back and playing it again on Steam for nostalgia's sake.
Wait, have you never heard of Chex Quest, Fractured?
No. How did?
Oh my goodness!
You didn't know Chex Quest existed?
I didn't.
No, I haven't heard of either.
Oh yeah, go look. I'm pretty sure it's free on
miss
Steam.
This?
It's a great little reskin of Doom.
It was given away with cereal too for free, basically.
This was in the box. That's how we all got it. We were all like and we shared it around and because I don't think you needed the disc in, you just needed to install it. We all shared the disc around, so we were all playing Chex Quest. I don't remember if it had multiplayer or not, but we all played the campaign. I think it was really short. It was only like 5 levels or something. But
I did not expect that to be coming from your mouth, Neo. That's a good one.
Dang, dude! Oh my god. Chex Quest.
And dude saying that Xbox should have grabbed the Hulk license and put the Crackdown team on it. That would be great.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good one there, Neo.
So yeah, if you like classic Doom, go check out Chex Quest. It's if I remember correctly, it's pretty short and it's just a fun little reskin of Doom.
Yeah, the crappiest cereal you can get as a kid. At least
I would say cornflakes are the worst, but just plain Chex are pretty bad too.
I don't know. Yeah, like you were probably a kid that just loaded it up with like 7 pounds of sugar just to make it tolerable, weren't you?
No, because I never ate anything. The cereals already had enough sugar in them. I didn't need to add more sugar to it. So,
I don't think it's on Steam anymore.
Oh, it's not. So, Carl, why don't you give us what your answer is, since this was your question? I'm gonna go look through my library because I swear I have it.
So I actually have 2 for this one.
Yeah, I do have it on Steam.
Both of them.
The Chex Quest HD. Sorry, Carl.
No,
yeah, that's the only thing I see.
Yeah, Chex Quest HD. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, the parameter behind it, like it looked like superhero stuff, so it didn't make any sense. But now, okay, I see it now during the video.
Yeah, it's developers team.
Did that come out?
Publisher General Mills, the cereal.
It came out a long time ago.
On
like
Steam, it's 2020, but back in the day, it was in the 90s.
Early 90s, yeah, it had to be like mid to early 90s, right?
It's free, so let's go nuts.
1996.
Do Google image search and you'll see the original look of the game. That's what I did.
Okay.
And I saw the original images and stuff like, oh my god. Anyway, Carl, please. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We're teaching people, Neo, so they had to catch up. So I actually have 2, and I plan to stream them this month because they are both monster themed games. But they were actually clones of Devil May Cry. So one of them, and they're both licensed games too. That's the other catch. So in the early 2000s, do you guys remember when people actually wanted to see Viggo Mortensen outside of
Lord of the Rings?
What was it? Viggo Mortensen?
Viggo Mortensen was Aragorn.
But I hold on a second. I gotta double check this.
Outside. While you're looking that up, Forking Around is saying that he loves Far Cry 3, 4, and 5, even though it's a Crysis clone.
I take that back. It was not Viggo Mortensen. It was actually Hugh Jackman. My mistake. Yeah. I made a mistake because they both looked similar at that time. But it was
Wolverine.
But it was Hugh Jackman, and the only reason why I bring this up is because there was a movie that he starred in called Van Helsing. Did you guys ever see that movie?
I never watched it, but I remember it coming out. I was just like, oh,
it's another cheesy movie, but I love that movie.
Bro, it had Kate Beckinsale in it. Come on, man.
God, she's never been as hot as she's been in that movie. God.
Oh, you're not even really.
No. Underworld. Are you serious?
She's hotter in Van Helsing than she is in Underworld.
I gotta agree with Neo. She was way hotter in Van Helsing.
Okay, I need proof there, boys. I need proof.
Need some
Where's the proof?
Right.
I need receipts.
You keep talking. I'll bring it up.
The second one, like they unzip her leather, like going all of a sudden there's legs and they're doing stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes a woman can work it with more clothes on than less clothes on. Sometimes you gotta have that air of mystery. You gotta have some imagination. If she just shows it all, it's like, well, then it's just OnlyFans at that point.
No, she didn't show it all. There. She just showed like legs and a little bit of cleavage as the rubber came off.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you like the higher class ladies. That's all I'm saying.
Do they have names? Because I want to see some fucking names. Anyway, this stream has devolved.
This stream has like been devolving all day, and I love it.
So keep going. I got your receipts right here, Ryan. Just give me a minute while Carl talks.
But anyway, as I was saying, I'm sorry, but They made an official Van Helsing game for the Xbox, PS2, and I think it was on the GameCube.
Really?
And that game is actually a unapologetic Devil May Cry ripoff. Like you're seeing, Hugh Jackman's character doing like wombo air combos, like he's Dante from Devil May Cry and everything. And it's based off of the story of the movie too. So I think the first boss you fight in that game is actually Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So if you haven't seen this game, you should look it up because it is very cheap, very fun, and yeah, it's one of my future games I'm actually going to stream. I think maybe this Saturday.
I think I remember seeing the game around, but I never played it. It's like I never saw the movie. But
what's the name of the game?
It's just called Van Helsing the game, I believe.
Yeah, I just put in Van Helsing video game in the Google image search, and I'm looking at it right now. I definitely see the
theme.
I definitely see the some of the inspiration from Devil May Cry in it.
Yeah, it is an unapologetic Devil May Cry clone, like to the T.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you're got a guy that's fighting werewolves, demons, and whatnot. You gotta have those special powers and whatnot, and agility.
I don't think it's on Steam.
I don't think it is either. No.
Yeah,
that's more console exclusive at the time.
Forking Around also agrees with us that she was hotter than Van Helsing, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
again, Google image search is my fid. I'm flipping back and forth between her in Underworld 2 and Van Helsing. I'm gonna have to go the Van Helsing route. She looks hotter here.
I just remember that first scene when she pulls the sword from her like sheath, and I'm like, yes, swoosh.
Yes.
Whoosh.
So, I think Ryan, you've not given us your clone game yet, right?
I had one more.
Oh, okay, Carl. Definitely.
I just have one more. I'll make it real quick. The only other reason I point this out too, because it's another licensed game, and it's actually a sequel to a movie, and it's also another Devil May Cry clone. Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie Boogie's Revenge is
what?
What?
That was a Devil May Cry clone?
Yes, it was a Devil May Cry clone.
I remember seeing that game
Do you
around,
have
but
proof
I
for
never
that, or are
played
you
it.
just speculating?
No, I own the game. Like, you play as Jack Skellington, and he has the same combat moves as not like a 1-for-1 creation, but it's like the same combat style as Dante from Devil May Cry. It's not like Jack Skellington's got guns going like do and cracking one-liners, but he's got like a whip, and he constantly is like shouting out his attacks like it's an anime. So
close enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has a whip shouting out. I mean, now they're ripping off Indiana Jones.
Exactly. But yeah, those are two, I think, very interesting, good old Xbox era games that definitely were capitalizing on the success of the Devil May Cry franchise.
There you go.
Are you talking about the hair?
Van Helsing on the left, you got Underworld on the right.
Okay, well,
going left.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, based on this, I'm going left. But in Underworld, she took the rubber suit off. Now you didn't see anything; you saw cleavage, and you saw legs, and she has nice legs, and she has nice cleavage. Like what are you talking about here?
Hang on.
One of the
let's move on. This has nothing to do with gaming. The fact that Neo is playing into this, sir.
Okay, Beckinsale, man, come on,
sir. Are you actually nerdy Neo, or are you a clone?
Oh no, he's a pawn person. He's been replaced.
Has the
government gonna start that screaming? That's what I gotta know.
Oh, look at that, forking around. Even his wife confirmed that Kate is hotter than Van Helsing. That's saying something.
Dude, that was like 8 minutes ago.
We moved on from that.
So now, thank you for joining us for the Van Helsing spoiler cast, everyone.
That's fair. Look,
all right.
I've met Kate Beckinsale in real life. She's very nice.
Really?
Yeah, no, I actually met her at Tampa Bay Comic-Con 2018.
Nice.
Yeah, it was when a dude was actually stalking her from from state to state, from
Oh, wow.
convention to convention.
Was it
And
you?
no, it was not me because I
No,
lived in
it was
Tampa
my
Bay,
evil
where
twin,
it was.
Brian.
Yeah. So he ambushed her in the parking lot, but of course, it didn't work. And
Sorry, that's not funny, but it's working. It's like add Kate Beckinsale to the thumbnail.
Well, yeah, yeah, Nia, do it. So anyway, the rest of the convention, she walked around with 4 Tampa PD officers, literally creating like a square around her, like as she walked through. Because no, some weirdo from like I don't know Ohio or something like that followed her from convention to convention, and he tried to get to her in the parking garage, but of course they knew who he was, and so he got arrested, and of course they upped her security.
And that's the story of how Ryan first went to jail.
That is the first time I went to jail. The second time was for Brie Larson and her feet.
Oh God dang it!
You went to jail over that? Shame.
What has happened here? What has happened?
So boogie boarding, as a reference to How I Met
Your Mother.
Yes, thank you. Someone got it when they kept trying to get back on track. So boogie boarding. So Ryan, what is your favorite clone game?
My favorite clone game is actually going to be StarCraft because it is literally a clone of, in my opinion, Command and Conquer. The original Command and Conquer came out in 1995. StarCraft from Blizzard came out. So Command and Conquer Westwood, right? We talked about that.
Yep.
StarCraft was Blizzard 1996. Now, I'm not saying they're the exact same game. However, they are very much they are RTS kind of like over the top games, like and
isometric style games. Yeah.
Yes, I love those, and I love them still to this day. So it's what I was talking about earlier. It's what SimCity 2000 was. It's what the on my cell phone. It's what SimCity is now. It's kind of like harkening back to a previous time. Those games are so much fun. They really are. And it's something that still lives on today with a certain amount of players because they play them. Now, is it going to be a massive hit? Is it going to be Ghost of Tsushima? Is it going to be was it Black Wukong?
Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, is it going to be that? No, it's not going to be that. But there's room for new games to be massive hits, but also to take it back to games which you love. That are just dumb, stupid fun. But at the time, though, when we were kids, we were like, "Do you see the graphics?
Yeah.
Do you see that? Do you see the explosions? Like going, oh, it's so great! Oh, I can play with my friends." And then, of course, you're doing a StarCraft match, and it's like, "All right, dude, I'm getting off the phone. Well, I'm gonna get in the match. Hold on. All right." Like it was something that was so new that we were so excited, and it's kind of awesome to see that these games still kind of live on today. The styles of it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with StarCraft because it was very much not the same game, but it was kind of the same game of Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Rules applied, yeah.
Very, very popular. While we're on the topic of RTSs, I think it came out, and Carl, I know you were looking forward to this, the Age of Mythology Retold.
I've been playing that, actually.
Okay. I was like, I know you were looking forward to that, and I think it just came out. So
it's really good. They did a really good job. It's a faithful remaster, updated graphics, kept the same story, and I think it's the same voice actors too from the original game. So yeah,
that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, World's Edge has done a very good job with the Age of Empire series and remakes and remastering them. So highly recommend it so far. And they just announced the Asian DLC at the Tokyo Game Show.
Cool. So
why has it got to be Asian?
Because it's based off Asian mythology.
Damn it! I thought I had something. No, I'm kidding.
Forking Mouse is coming in. Finally thought of a monster game I love. Queen of Blades from StarCraft. Sarah Kerrigan. Also Wood.
Yep.
Oh,
Wood.
Damn, bro. Damn.
Before or after? Doesn't matter.
Oof.
I've never played StarCraft that much, so I don't. I know that is a character in StarCraft, but I don't know really anything about it.
Well, she's a tragic character that becomes basically the queen of the Zerg.
That's
which
what
is
I thought.
Are giant bugs that, quite frankly, they're kind of like a plague.
I already said I would, Ryan. You don't have to keep going.
You don't have to tell me on it.
All right, guys. Jesus.
Like that meme I made of Fractured from a week or so ago.
You're like, Wood, I already said it. Don't sell me more.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You already told me they're getting rid of Karth. I'm sold.
Yeah, that's right. So, and then due to saying rest in peace to the voice actor for Oogie Boogie, talking about
he passed away
Christmas.
He passed away today. 70 years old.
That was today?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Man, a lot of people are just dropping this year.
Yeah. It's funny too. Our friend Sammy was playing Kingdom Hearts and she was doing a Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie Boogie boss fight.
Oh, jeez.
Today?
Yeah. Yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So she killed him. Hashtag Sammy killed him.
It's all your fault.
Bitch.
So, all right. Well, we will head into our last topic for tonight. And that is, as usual, I like to finish it off with sequentially keep adding a year from the last episode. And last episode, we were talking about favorite game of 1994. So that leaves us with today with your favorite game of 1995. So, Ryan, how about you want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah, I'll actually kick this off because I literally just talked about it. It's not StarCraft. That was 96. It's Command & Conquer. And it made...
95?
It was 95. It made such a massive hit on the PC that it literally became a PlayStation game. It became, there was a mobile game version at one time of the original Command & Conquer. And it was huge. It was literally huge. And 1995. I mean, let's be honest. We were only a couple of years after MS DOS, so seeing a game like Command & Conquer on Windows 95, yes, Windows 95, it was huge from Westwood Studios, and it launched into Command & Conquer Red Alert. Command & Conquer.
My friends talking about Red Alert all the time.
Red Alert was the first one that actually went to the PlayStation 1, and then you had Red Alert Retaliation, which was actually basically the DLC added to the original game. You had to have another disc, and it turned into Command & Conquer Tiberium Sun, Command & Conquer Red Alert 2. Command & Conquer Generals. It just kept going and going and going. And when Westwood Studios was in charge of it, it was the best Command & Conquer you could get. Where it got funky for me was when EA bought it, but I don't consider that Command & Conquer. I consider Command & Conquer Westwood Studios only, because again, we talked about earlier, you've got going, you could hear the troops marching.
Yep.
And it was the most fun game. And I never played it. It was based off the Cold War. I never played as the Allies. I was played as the Soviets. They had the best stuff. They had Tesla coils. As we talked about earlier. They're like going, oh, and the dude had turned to ash, like the little troop. It's great. Yep. It was so much fun.
That was the game that I didn't play until it did go to till it was on PlayStation. And then eventually I got around to it, but on PC. But like the thing that was great about it was that they didn't try and reinvent the wheel with the mainline games and everything. Like they did that with like Generals. They tried something different with them. But but like the Red Alert, Tiberian Sun, like they didn't try and change it up. They just like added different units, new units and stuff like that. They had their whole new storylines and everything going for it. But that was at least the thing. You at least could jump into the game and you knew how to play the game. There was nothing like terribly weird that they just might have like maybe rebalanced some troops here and there and stuff like that. But that was about it. Otherwise, you knew what you were doing. And I think that was the beauty behind it. They weren't trying to, trying to fix what wasn't broken or anything. Just, boom.
Didn't reinvent the wheel, right?
Yep.
No.
Exactly.
So, that's mine.
Good pick.
Good one. That's a great one.
So, Filter, you're very nostalgic. What is your favorite game from '95?
I was looking at the. I had to go back in time a little bit. I'm like, all right, so what was Little Fractured playing back in the day? And I was looking at games that came out in '95. I was like, okay, I was looking at it. What was I playing? And I mean, God, we were so spoiled back then. But some of the games that I do consider my favorites today, I did not play necessarily at the time. That's so fine. I'm up between it was because I was a Nintendo boy back in the day. I was on Super Nintendo and everything. It was my favorite. So I mean, you had Yoshi's Island, you had Donkey Kong Country 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Those are all the games. Those are definitely the main games of '95 that came out that year that I could think of that I was playing the ever bejesus out of. But if I had to, it's tough to lean on a favorite because I'm really up between like Yoshi's Island and Donkey Kong Country.
Pick the Donkey Kong.
I think I'll have to lean on the Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong.
The Donkey Kong franchise was my platformer of choice as a child. I'll take that over Mario any day.
It was a lot of fun. They changed up the formula a bit with what's her name? Is not I don't want to say
Kong.
It was Dixie Kong. I thought that was oh no, that was Candy Kong. Never mind.
Yeah, Candy was Funky's girlfriend, I think.
Candy Kong.
Yeah. Dixie, because in DKC 2, Dixie and Diddy are trying to rescue Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, yeah. And I thought that was a neat little dynamic. Diddy Kong was kind of the guy in charge a bit, so you wouldn't always get that sometimes. But I enjoyed it. Another for that franchise. Certainly, I mainly played 1 and 2. I never really got around to playing 3.
That's the one I played the most because that's the one I actually owned.
I had owned 1 and 2, so that's why I played the hell out of those ones. But for 1 and 2, I mean, especially not only were the level designs not great, they were challenging, but they were still they were not so difficult that you couldn't get past them on either a first try or anything like that, especially if you knew what you're doing. But oh my God, Donkey Kong Countries 1 and 2, the soundtracks are just so I use the word comfy just because they play so well to their atmosphere, very atmospheric, and they're just very they aren't assaulting you with that they're there, but you know that it's there in the background, and you aren't getting too annoyed that it's on a repeat basically. But it just plays very well to every level, and some of them are just so nice to listen to. Even just letting the game just run, and you're just listening to the soundtrack. You're like, this is just lovely. So I'll go with Donkey Kong Country 2.
Good pick. So, Carl, were you old enough to play games in '95?
I was 4.
Damn.
So he was getting to that age, getting close. But
we're getting closer to being able to play them without having issues.
Yeah, at the time that they came out. But of course, you definitely could have played them later on.
Sorry, I'm the youngest one in this room of Greycocks over here. I'm sorry.
But we've had younger people on before, and I think we started out with. I think it started at what year did we start with? 90. And they were, obviously these games were out before I was born. So.
Exactly. I I was just double checking.
Just for the record, easy, Carl. I could be your father.
You probably could. You're already more in my life than he is. All right, so there you go.
Damn.
That was a good one, Carl. That was good.
Carl touche.
There you go. I'm pretty good at counterpunching, they say. So I was looking at the list and I just had to double check a few. One of these I did play as a kid. The other two came later in life. But I will go with the one I did play as a kid. A good game from good old Sony Santa Monica, Twisted Metal.
Oh. Yeah, I saw that on the list, but that came later for me. Like once I did finally get a PlayStation down the line, I did play it, but I just wasn't that early on for me.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't for me. Like I said, I was born in 91, so I was like 4. But I want to say when I was in first grade, I did have a friend who had a PlayStation 1, and we did play Twisted Metal quite a lot at sleepovers at his house when we were younger.
Oh, those were the days.
Oh, memories.
Yeah.
Never played any Twisted Metal games, but I do know that those were popular. I'm pretty sure I would have liked it if I had a PlayStation to play them on. Speaking of Twisted Metal, did any of you guys watch the Twisted Metal show?
No.
It was actually not bad.
I just no interest.
Know.
Yeah. Okay. Like I like some of the games. I think Twisted Metal Black is what I played the most on the PS2, but otherwise, like I was not heavy into the series to warrant me going, I should watch this show.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't hear anything terrible about it, but I just was like, if this was on HBO, I would have gave it a try, you know? I feel like it would have been better on HBO and had like a bigger budget.
It sounded like one of those shows that just kind of existed.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
It was there. It was okay, but it could have been better, but it just was there.
Inoffensive is better than offensive. That's what I say.
Yeah, I didn't hear that much bad about it, so it couldn't have been too egregious.
Well, the problem is that Anthony Mackie is not a massive draw. I mean, he's... I mean, no offense.
Yeah, that's right.
He's not Captain America. He's Falcon, which is great. I loved him in the MCU. And also at the same time, being said about Chris Evans, he's Captain America, but he's not a draw outside of the MCU. So, I mean, it was like one of those things.
He's out of line.
Metal is based off of
but he's right.
Yeah. That was a line from Anthony Mackie.
No, I know.
To it.
So it was just, it was not one of those things that was going to be huge. You're taking an obscure game from, the 90s, and it's like, I mean, I played Twisted Metal. My friends and I played Twisted Metal, and then we had the N64 version, Vigilante 8.
Yeah,
I always wanted to play that one since I
love that game,
but I never got to play that one either.
So much fun.
Oh,
talk about clones!
Yeah, it was a great game.
It was a clone. It was basically a clone of Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal.
It was a clone.
Was Twisted Metal was Twisted Metal a Carmageddon clone?
I know of Carmageddon, but I don't know if I've ever even seen it.
No.
I just think of V8 with the disco opening thing. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought of another favorite clone game. I can't believe I didn't think about this until just now. Rock Band.
There you go.
Oh, right.
That would be up there for one of my favorite clone games as well. Rip off of Guitar Hero.
It's a clone of Parappa the Rappa, I know.
Of course, Neo played Guitar Hero and Rock Band. He was like,
heck yeah.
He's playing like
drums are my thing.
He's playing Aerosmith. He's like Dream On. He's like, just like
Aerosmith.
He just buys the Nickelback pack and he's just singing Rockstar all the time with his friends.
I did buy the Nickelback songs. I like Nickelback.
He's like,
I called it.
Dream On. No, I this is legit. I worked at Best Buy when Guitar Hero and Rock Band were huge. I was in college. The Wii was also a big hit. So shout out to that.
Ugh.
Yeah. We used to have a display in the store where you could just go and people would play for hours. Hours. It's like, sir, would you like to buy something? I'm like going, hold on, I'm gonna buy this. But hold on.
Hang on, I gotta beat this one.
That's like the equivalent of going to Costco and just eating free samples all day.
Pretty much. That's exactly
there
what
are
it
probably
fucking
people
was.
that do that. So, all right. As for me, my favorites, my second favorite was also the answer to my favorite clone game. That was Dark Forces, which I'm surprised Fracture didn't mention that again.
Well, like I said, I didn't play it back then. Like,
it doesn't matter. It's what game came out that year that you.
No,
like.
I get that, but I'm like, what would I wanted to go for more of like my own nostalgic approach.
Okay.
Like, what was I playing as a lad back in the day?
But yeah, I love, like I said, love Dark Forces. So that's one of my favorites from '95. But if I had to pick a single one, I mention this game all the time, and it's finally here. Probably the prequels to this one were probably my answers to the last two because they all came out 1 year after each other. But my favorite Mega Man game of all time came out in 1995. That is Mega Man X3. I love that game to death. And so that is my favorite game from '95.
So when it comes to the X series, like the thing that kind of gets me is what is exactly the lore behind it? Because what separates it from Mega Man, just the regular yeah, because I remember the cartoon back in the day, and they eventually brought in X, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's two different. What the heck is going on here? So I was always confused about if they're like supposed to be the same person, robot, whatever.
I haven't really. I don't play Mega Man for the plot. I play it for the gameplay.
Fair enough. I remember somebody trying to tell me it too, and I was just like, I am baffled by all of this because there's like all this crazy lore about even Mega Man turning bad at some point, but they didn't do it, or so, I don't know. There's some wacky stuff behind Mega Man.
I just played a Mega Man game for the first time this year. All right,
which one was that?
The PSP one, which is the remake of the
Powered Up.
One. Yeah,
the one that you told me about.
Yeah,
okay.
And Legends. I actually played like Mega Man Legends this year. Have you ever played Mega Man Legends?
I played it for a few minutes. So essentially, no, I have not. I played it over at a friend's house once, and I've got I think I mentioned it with you before that I have a funny story regarding Mega Man Legends, or technically Mega Man 64, since 64 only got the first Mega Man Legends game. But Dr. Light created the Mega Man Classic, and Dr. Wily was obviously the bad guy. And then I think Dr. Light also created X, but wasn't able to complete him or something along those lines. And then like 100 or a few hundred years later, Dr. Kane discovered X and finished him. And that's where the Mega Man X franchise comes in.
Oh, okay.
And then I think Dr. Wily created Zero, but Zero ends up turning good.
Yeah, Zero always seemed like a pretty cool character.
I thought Zero was a girl for the longest time, and my friend's like, "No, that's a dude." I'm like, "Oh."
I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, that was a dude.
Yeah, Zero's a really cool character, but yeah, there's X and Zero right there.
Yeah, hiding in between there. Yeah,
but yeah, Mega Man X3 is my favorite. I love that game.
I have to regale you with the tales of my friend Ryan one day. Not this Ryan, but my actual friend Ryan.
It's funny because my story about
we can be friends. What the fuck, dude? That's fucked up.
No, we're already friends, but like this, I don't think you're going to tell me a story about how your mom got fake boobs like my other friend Ryan did.
Whoa.
Nope, that's not one I'm going to tell because there's not a story there. So
exactly,
and it didn't happen.
That's what I said. I will have to regale you with this tale of my father.
But it's funny that you mentioned that because my story about Mega Man 64 was also with my friend Ryan.
Oh, what the hell's going on?
It's a Ryanception going on here. What the heck?
Filter, do you have a funny story about a friend named Ryan?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I wish I did, but I feel left out now.
Well,
I'm not part of the cool kids.
You and I can make a special story together.
Oh goodness! All right,
Sounds hot.
so with that, we're gonna wrap it up here tonight.
Oh
no! Thank you for joining me, Fractured. Glad we could finally make it happen to get you on for Party Chat. Always a blast having you on.
Good show. Good show.
Yeah, this is great.
And,
Always
fun as always, Carl and
yeah.
Ryan. Thank you for joining me, and everyone who is in chat. Good to see you guys as always. Thanks for hanging out with us. And before we go, we'll give you guys all a chance to plug whatever you got going on. So, Filter, what do you have to plug?
My channel, The Fractured Filter. You can find me on YouTube, Kick, Twitch, Rumble, Odyssey, you name it, I'm there. Also on X. I will of course be getting. I gotta still get some few things set up, but I'll be streaming Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Getting into that, and I do want to get into some other games as this kind of like one-offs or just kind of easy, just jump into for the month. That is still in the horror theme because thanks to while I'm not a big fan of Epic, they do hand out plenty of free games, and I'll have to get back to my Alien Isolation game so you can hear me screech like a girl, and also that I'd grabbed Evil Dead the game, and I've kind of played a little bit of it off stream. Kind of dig it. It's kind of an interesting game, especially playing as the Deadites. So I might have to give that a stream or two. Just for
is that a clone of like
Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight?
Like that? Yeah. So I might have to do that as well. Keep with the theme, and I do have some plans a little more later in October, but for now, I'll just leave it at that. And again, guys, this was a lot of fun, and always fun getting to chat with you.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it. And when you were starting to plug the name of your channel, you said Fractured, and I was going to say Butthole.
Yeah, the Fractured Butthole.
So
that's all she wrote on my. And of course, Thursday night I will be on Static 2020's channel for his weekend pregame, where we talk about basically Clown World. And apparently, I had to bring my tinfoil hat, so he likes to bring his conspiracy theories. I'll have to make sure that I am geared up. Where is that tinfoil?
Yeah,
there we go. I got my tinfoil hat. I was just going to
say, you got to go put a tinfoil hat on Kyle.
Yep, I got my tinfoil hat, so I'm always ready to go for when
fedora.
Lady.
Tip hat. But yeah,
that's great.
I had to find something that would be very appropriate. So
that is
there
very
we go.
Appropriate. That is great. All right, Filter. Well, thank you for coming on tonight. That was great having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Love hanging out with you. Carl, what do you got going on?
So tomorrow I will be back on with Extra Zero, and we're going to be doing a spoiler cast of Astrobot.
Nice.
And then I will be back also on Tuesday for my weekly game streams, and we're going to be playing the original Xbox exclusive Buffy the Vampire game to kick off good old Monster Madness month. And then later this week, Friday, I will have on IJP Mexican as we talk about nostalgia and gaming, if it's toxic or if it's not toxic, after watching a few of his videos to have a nice little conversation about that.
The answer to both of those questions is yes.
And then finally, Saturday, I haven't picked the game yet. I'm going to stream at noon, so I'll keep that posted. But I will also have on Sophomore John again, and we talk about his career at GameStop and obviously video game talk. So that's my upcoming week.
Cool. Yeah, I dropping everybody's links in the chat. They are also in the stream description. If you aren't catching this live and want to get links to their channels, they're in the stream description as well. So thank you, as always, Carl, for joining. Doing a great job on co-hosting and giving me great topics for Party Chat. So I appreciate that.
Anytime.
And Ryan, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm going to keep doing my thing, pissing people off on YouTube and Twitter. I'm actually almost to 1,000 followers on Twitter or X, whatever you don't call it. It's LG 2076 News. My first Twitter account was nuked under pre-Elon Musk, Legion Games 2076. I appealed to get that back, got it back, and then it got suspended for impersonating. Never mind. So anyway, my first
some deja
Twitter
vu
account,
here.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, I was making fun of Joe Biden when he was, doing his thing in front of the red and black background, and apparently
better than the Sony ponies going after me.
Yeah. So yeah, I am roughly in the neighborhood of 20 away from
20 exactly.
20 exactly. Okay.
Yeah, you're at 980. So I just put the link to your Twitter/X account there in the chat as well, and I'll put that in the stream description as well.
Much appreciated. And I am actually 11 away from 500 subs on Legion Talk. That is my pop culture. It's where I get to talk about all the horrible things that Disney and everything does. And so yeah, my excuse me, my gaming platform is Legion Games 2076. I need to start playing more games.
Yes.
And so that would be I downloaded Silent Hill, the Homecoming. So I want to do that because I love Halloween. So I want to make more time for that. And I do a history channel, which is weird. We talk about history and how the world is kind of repeating that. And I do that with Anna's Gameland. And she is extremely intelligent. She makes the show bearable because I'm slightly retarded. So
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm kind of retarded. So she balances it out. No, but this has been a great show. I love talking about video games and, from not just the past and the future and stuff like that. Also, I forgot one thing, and JV Joker Voice is going to kick me in the balls if I don't say this. We have a wrestling podcast tomorrow night. It is 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about not just current wrestling events, but also previous things that we loved about the Attitude Era, the Golden Era, and stuff like that. So check that out. It's on JV's channel, Joker Voice, and my channel, Legion Talk. So that's it. And shout out to the chat. Thank you.
Very nice.
I said a lot. Sorry. Yes.
No worries. As for myself, I will unfortunately be continuing Dark Souls with Dude as we play Dude Souls tomorrow night. I hate every second of it.
Why torture yourself like this? Why do it? Why?
If I could take it back, I would, but
you made a promise.
I'm committed now.
A man of your word.
Yeah. So we're continuing Dark Souls tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, we'll be Dude and I will be on chatting together on our next episode of Achievement Chasers, talking about our achievement hunting over the course of September. And then I'll be back to Metroidvania Monday on Monday. And I just finished Metroid Zero Mission last night, so I'm going to be starting up AM2R next Monday, which I've never played before. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
That was good. Yeah, that was a good one. And the guy released it just in the window, and everybody grabbed it as quickly as they could before Nintendo brought down the old hammer.
I went and pulled up the website today because I was DJ Access and I were talking about it after my stream last night, and he's like, "Hey, check and make sure you have the latest version." I went to the website today, and it's like there hasn't been a new version in many years. Because
as soon as he dropped that AM2R, man, the Nintendo came down so hard and so fast. It was wild. Yep. They are the worst for any kind of gamer relations at all. Like they're among the worst. It's like, guys, come on. People are just trying to do something in a good spirit of
Nintendo. Nintendo's no fun for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, this will be my first. This is the only Metroid game, like mainline Metroid game I haven't played any version of Metroid 2. So this will be the first time playthrough of any form of Metroid 2 for me. So, and yeah, I've heard that AM2R is great, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then at this time next week, next Tuesday, will be the next episode of Top 5. We are ranking our top 5 favorite spooky games. So we still got room for on the panel. So if anyone wants to be on that panel, let me know. And then next Thursday, Carl and I were talking about doing some sort of gaming something. Are we still on for that?
Yeah, gaming something.
We haven't figured out exactly what it is yet, but we're going to be doing playing some actual games, and we might get a group together for that as well. So, but yeah, I think that'll do it for episode 28 of Party Chat. Thank you for joining us, Filter. Thank you, Ryan
Absolutely.
and Carl, and everyone in chat. Dude, forking around. Who else was here? Christian Frady, Snapple Rai, Daxinar, Real Wade Nation. Good to see you guys. You all have a great night, everyone. We will see you later. And in the meantime, game on.